G'day, g'day, g'day. And we are live. It's your boy Danny D, aka Alaktrician Man, in the house, joined by these awesome, wonderful people right here, which most of them don't need any introduction. And we're going to have a super interesting show today. So thank you for tuning in. And guys, today's going to be just a general discussion on basically anything about drip and whatever else you want to talk about. But if you guys have any questions at all, the guys that are watching, please, depending on how this chat side goes, if you're asking a specific question, please type in question. Am I feeding back?
No.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, yes. I've got some feedback.
But is it me? Or is it somebody else who's got something happening in the background
there? Maybe.
Yeah, how's that? Oh, there you go. It is folly. It's your fault, bro. So, yeah, guys, if you're gonna ask questions on the chat over here, please, depending on what goes on there, if it's a specific question, please type question so that we know it's a question, and then we'll bring it up. We'll try to address it as soon as we can.
I hope we can fill up the void and have something to talk about. I don't know.
Oh, like, look,
we always have a hard time thinking of things to talk about, don't we?
That's why we finish so quickly, right?
Yeah, that's right. Like 10, 15 minutes, it's over.
Right, absolutely. What I am going to do, though, just before we get into all of it, I just want to show you guys know I've been talking about that little drip account that I set up on my YouTube. But it's through YouTube, and it was just an account I just wanted to throw out there to show people that you can start from something small and then, build up to something substantial. And I'm going to share the screen on this one just for a second. Let me show you. Yeah. Okay, so this is a little account, and I just have not taken it seriously at all. Okay, it was just messing around with it. This one, I'll show you here. Back on August 21, I started talking about this account. Okay, and that was the stats on it: 33 coins, and I'd already taken out 27. Those 27 coins, roughly, was when the price went to $59, and I had them just sitting around. And I sold at $59, and then I just left it and I just messed around with it, didn't take it seriously. So August 21, 0 team, 33 coins, and 27 already claimed. And from that to here, without even thinking about it,
pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy, And that's just how easy drip is that you can just, without even taking it seriously, just messing around with it, you can actually grow. So there you go. I just wanted to share that one.
That's how well it pays to build a team as well.
Well, yeah, it is. It is,
Yep, 54 direct rewards there.
Yeah, that's right. And that's just messing around. So there you go. I just wanted to show you guys that. And what I've been doing now as well, I've been claiming on that, and then I'm airdropping that down as well, which is pretty amazing, I guess, considering, Brandon knows and and Kelly knows my take on airdropping back then, but I also do it now as well, so that's fine too. So there you go, guys. There's a few people. Good to see you here again.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, man. Much better.
Yeah, we got you. No feedback.
Hey, Folly.
Much better.
Hey, what's going, Josh? Hi, Kelly. Hi, Brandon. What's up? How you guys doing?
Yes. Good. How are you?
Good.
I was so jealous the last time you guys had this kind of a big party, and I wasn't able to join up. Now I get to be here.
So, yeah, look, open to discuss pretty much anything that you guys want to discuss. Whoever wants to start it off can.
Yeah, sure. I'd like to first start off by saying how well did Drip react to that little dip that we just had?
Yeah, and still having.
Yeah, I was scared. I was scared to look this morning. It dropped down to like 26, and then I looked this morning. It was 31.50 or something. I was like, damn.
Yeah. It's beautiful considering what Bitcoin dropped. What was it? 9,000 or something.
20%, mate. I saw it at 52K, and I was like, I'm going to short this, and then I fell asleep.
Good on ya.
But yeah,
BNB dropped below 500 as well.
Yeah.
There was like it hit the 400s like briefly, I think.
Oh shit.
Yep. That's the power of limit orders.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know, when I woke up and saw it myself, when I saw Bitcoin was down so much, I said to myself after looking at Drip, thank God, because this means we're getting ready to blow the top off. I mean, it's got to go down first, right? And I'm like, I don't really, I mean, I have Bitcoin, but I'm like, I don't really care about it that much. I have Drip, right?
Yeah. No, to me, Bitcoin is like totally antiquated. You know, it's expensive and slow. And Drip is, you know, Bitcoin doesn't have any design features, nothing at all in terms of, you know, promoting it, and no referral system, no rewards for holding it, nothing. Well,
I think you can get a couple of % off of it, right, on Celsius or something like that. You know, I don't know, it's 3%, 6% per annum. I went to lunch with some friends today, and the lady says to me, she's maybe a little bit interested in crypto, and I said, "Oh," I said, "That's interesting." I said, "You know, you can." We just started talking about Bitcoin first, and I said, "You know, you can maybe even get 6% on your Bitcoin," and she was like, "Oh my God, 6%!" And I just, you know, I mentioned Drip, but I really couldn't, you know, somebody's in that mindset. I really couldn't say, you know, really, you can make 1% a day, because then they don't believe you. I mean, so you have to kind of like ease them into it.
Yeah. I know. Usually when you say that 1%, and it's like 3,000% per year,
right?
People go, "Nah, no way." Yes way.
Well, we're all living proof of it right here.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly
Drip
right.
pays my bills.
I love that. People keep posting that, and other people are going, "Why are you doing this?" I mean, you know, it's the truth, though.
It is. It definitely is. You know, like my wife and I sit there and we just look at each other and just have this big smile. It's like, isn't this crazy? Absolutely crazy what this is doing for us right now, you know? And it's going to do it for a long, long time. I'm not going to touch on this subject, okay? that you guys got into the other day, but it's, you know, it's there. Take advantage of it and make a shitload of money from it, and that's basically what I can say about that. Yeah, the runner, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I was there.
There you go.
What are you guys talking about?
Kelly is a super trooper, man. She keeps her chin up. She's like, enough said, I guess.
Come on, guys, fill Brandon in. He needs to know what you guys are talking about.
Is that a blank stare on Brandon's face? No, Brandon knows what's going on. He knows because he kept getting referred to in the conversation.
Oh, that okay, yeah.
Yeah. Forex kept saying, "Yeah, I already talked to Brandon about this. He's cool with it." Oh Lord! Oh God! But hey, we all like the fact that it works and the way that it works. It's just part of it's a mystery, you know. And scientists don't like mysteries, do they?
There's no mystery. It's totally clear what's happening.
Well,
there's no mystery.
But someone should explain to me why BTC had to drop to 47 before it affected Drip, because I was actually looking at it when it dropped from 56 to about 52. Drip remained unchanged for quite a bit. It was still sitting at 31, and it took BTC to dump again to 47 or 44 for that to affect Drip. And I'm going, what is the mathematics behind that threshold of drop in price before it had an effect on drip. It's not still very clear to me why that happened, to be honest.
Well, isn't it because like BNB started going down and people were just taking advantage of buying the BNB?
So I think, yeah. So I think some people actually now decided, okay, it's the community, to be honest. I think it's the community because there was no panic sell, I guess, when all that was happening, you know.
No.
But for other tokens, the moment they start seeing that dip in BTC, everybody starts to panic and start selling altcoins, because we all know for sure when BTC drops, everything drops with it, you know.
Yeah.
But for drip, nobody was panicking. People were like, "Oh, okay, there we go. We know this is gonna happen now." And you know, drip is untouchable, because of what we know about drip. But it's still not mathematically correct to say it just held is $31 even when everything was dropping, because we're tied to BNB, and BNB dropped in that range from 630 to almost 400. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange. Like I think during that time, it must have been going up in BNB terms. Like that ratio, I know that ratio was below 0.04 for the longest time. And then it was about 0.42 for a long time. And then once it got above 0.05, it just stayed there, and it went even higher. Even though, so it had to compensate. BNB is going down, but drip is going up in relation to BNB, and therefore the drip USD price stays stable.
I don't know if under normal circumstances drip would be so like impenetrable, but I think there's enough people who are in drip that know what's about to happen with the farm.
Right.
They're like, okay, even if it like, let's not even worry about what everything else is happening because we know that this is coming up. I think probably if I hadn't known, I might have been more tempted to sell. Like,
well, you know, Ray from Bartertown had to be buying, right? He's been crying about the price going up because he wanted to buy, and now it went down.
Right.
The majority
I think our market, our DEX is a little bit separated. You know, it's kind of in its own little bubble. The Drip-BNB price just does what it does based on people claiming and selling versus people getting into drip for the very first time, right? Irrespective of whatever's going on with Bitcoin or even BNB, you know, that it's all about that ratio, and that ratio is kind of in its own little bubble.
That's right.
Josh has his hand up.
Yeah.
I've been looking to say this one thing for the past couple of minutes, but I think the beauty of drip is the majority of the liquidity is locked. Like when you deposit, it's just basically burned. So the max that can get sold off the total drip system is 1% a day. So you're not going to have massive price swings in comparison to other things where you can just go into your MetaMask, you've got all your SafeMoon tokens, and you go onto PancakeSwap and dump them. It's a little bit more convoluted to do that on drip.
Well, I think also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but we touched on this last time, Folly. I think the casinos actually had a bit of an impact on how stable drip is right now. Since they came in, like you've got your drip BUSD. Have you noticed that like it moves, but only by a little bit?
There is a lot more drip BUSD liquidity in PancakeSwap now than there used to be. There's currently it used to be something like, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 tokens, just a few thousand tokens in the PancakeSwap liquidity pool. Now it's 21, almost 22,000 tokens, drip tokens in drip BUSD liquidity on PancakeSwap. So that's definitely grown a lot.
Yeah. I would say that I would hesitate to attribute that to the casino when the farm is such a big player in all of this stuff, because I think there are a lot of people that have been buying LP tokens on PancakeSwap with their drip and BUSD. So that's definitely probably had at least as much, if not way more, impact on the BUSD liquidity than the casino. Why are you laughing?
I personally haven't even looked at the casino
I'm sorry,
yet.
I'm laughing at just this comment from Twitch. It's okay.
I
haven't looked at the casino yet, but I think it's I think they accept only the drip BUSD LP tokens for playing the games, right?
Yeah, I think that was kind of by design, right? I mean, it was going to take drip, and all of a sudden it was a disappointment for everybody. It was drip BUSD, and so you have like a ton of players like Folly and some other people who are buying these LPs and they're sitting around waiting for the farm, they probably figure, well, I might as well do a little gambling while I'm waiting, right? I mean, it's very interesting, the dynamics of it.
But like Kelly said, there's so much incentive to be buying your Drip BUSD LP and keeping it right now, more for the farm than for the casino. But a lot of people are just, that casino gave a lot more, not a lot more, an extra incentive to really create your Drip BUSD, just in case. So for example, I can create a Drip BUSD LP of about $5,000 and then just use 200 to gamble, to throw away some of them because I need some adrenaline push.
Hey, has anybody actually played in the casino? I mean, I have not.
I'm not a gambler. If I want to gamble, I'll have to gamble with the Prime Minister's house.
I'm really more interested in the Rev token, to be honest. I'm not too excited about staking Drip BUSD liquidity and earning rewards on that. I want to get a huge bag of Rev tokens and
but you earn Rev by doing that, Brandon. You earn Rev by staking the LP token. So
but instead of taking like whatever 10 grand and putting it into Drip BUSD, I'm going to take 10 grand and put it into Rev. Like I'm just going to buy Rev token and watch that sucker moon.
Be careful, Brandon. So I don't know about anti-bot mechanisms. I don't know if we have all that in place, but there are so many bad players that is going to try to front run you when it comes to buying Rev at the very first 30 seconds or 2 minutes. So the way anti-bot works is it starts checking wallet 15 seconds or 30 seconds into when liquidity is being provided and starts scanning through when the liquidity is added. So when liquidity is added, it waits for that initial rush and then just sucks up all the liquidity. Because, I mean, it's a bot. So what it does is it waits for about 100K to come in, then it puts in is maybe 100K too, and then just wipes up everything. So what people would normally tell you is once liquidity is added, you need to wait for 15 seconds for the anti-bot mechanism to kick in, where it's going to be able to blacklist any wallet that's going to make such move. Because the anti-bot recognizes that the human speed for doing transactions is more than 15 seconds, So it tries to set itself in such a way that anything that happens within that 15 seconds that is so fast is going to actually, make sure it blacklists that wallet. So I don't know if there's anything like that.
You're saying if I click the swap button at the moment liquidity is added, or basically as soon as the swap button becomes clickable.
Yes.
I don't want to necessarily click it right then.
Yes, you don't want to, because if there's no anti-bot mechanism, there's a lot of bots. You'll be caught up in that bot loop where your liquidity is going to be part of what is going to be drained. I mean, I've partaken in all of this, some of these things for a very long time. So
what are you saying? Are you saying that he's not going to get that price that he thought he was going to get? I mean, that's the point
I'm trying to make. Yes. So if there's no anti-bot mechanism for the Rev token when it launches, for example, if the contract becomes available for everybody to see, people are going to build a bot around it, and then they can run the price to 800 in the first 20 seconds, and then suck up every liquidity that comes with it.
What does that mean? Suck up the liquidity. What does that actually mean?
Good question. So it means the bot is the sniper bot is gonna wait for a lot of people to come in, with all their funds, and then is able to buy, sell within that short time that whatever you are putting in is just going to run it up. Because, for example, remember, for every money you put in, the price of Rev goes up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And because there's that huge
market maker.
Yes. So because there's that huge amount of money coming in, the only person that will be able to sell at that speed of light will be the bot compared to everyone else. So just before you click and say you want to swap or anything, he has already done like 24 transactions within that same time. So that way, is going to be taking everybody's money that is being thrown in, because they are going to be running the price up, and he's going to be collecting it. Does that make sense?
But how would I get hurt other than the price going down? Like I just imagine, because Forex has said there's like hundreds of thousands of dollars waiting in the wings that they want to jump into this token the second it launches. So why wouldn't I want to be part of that? Because my 10K or 20K or whatever is going to combine with hundreds of others, hundreds of other players that are aping in, and the price is just going to rocket up. Like in the first I figure like the first 5 to 10 minutes at least is just going to be, one of those massive green candles, isn't it?
Yeah, two reasoning in that regard. Forex is too smart to allow sniper bots to really drain everyone's else liquidity. So in that regard, I think it's going to put something in place to make sure only humans can really buy in at that time. That's one thing.
In the absence of that, can you set your slippage to a maximum amount, or does that have no effect?
Yes, so that's one way to really prevent bots from really running you down, because what bots do is it looks at your percentage that you've set as your slippage, and then front runs you based on that slippage that you've set. But the other thing I was about to say is yes, there's gonna be monstrous liquidity coming in at that very first minute. You are very right. But then there's also good liquidity that is going to be added to Rev token. But you won't get as much as you would get if it is all normal humans buying at that same time. That's my point. Not really that you won't make money because there's other liquidity coming in. But if a sniper bot partakes in that, you won't be able to get as much as you want. I've seen a price of a coin go from $1 to $1,000 within 15 seconds. It was crazy. So
wow.
look at yourself dropping $1,000 to buy, maybe you set a slippage at 50%. So that means you're trying to buy a $1 token at, maybe it runs up and you want to buy it at $5, and you're seeing $1,000. So that instead of getting 200 tokens, you're going to get one token.
Yeah.
Okay. You see where that is very, very lead out.
What somebody said in the Dow is that you can use 49% slippage on your pancake swap. Is that advisable or is that crazy?
It's actually advisable if there's anti-bot mechanism. Yes, because the truth is, price is going to go up more than 50% in the very first few seconds or few minutes. But because PancakeSwap sets 49 as the maximum, so yes, you want to set that 49. So what that means is that you can still, it's going to still allow your trade to go through if you want to buy at $1 and it goes to $1.49. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to still allow you to be able to buy. But if it goes past 1.49 and it goes to 1.8, your transaction is going to fail.
So would you be advisable to chuck in, say you had 10K, to chuck in 3K when it's at $1 with 49 slippage, refresh the page in like half a minute, do the same thing with the same slippage if the price rises?
That's how you become smarter than the bot that way. When you don't throw in all the money all at once. But again, it's a problem because there's somebody else that is really throwing in a lot more money that runs the price up for you.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm worried about. I don't want to get like everything in that first 15 seconds because I'm worried that the price is going to go from 8 to like 100 in a minute.
Yeah,
so that's the risk that you got to take.
We need to talk to Forex to make sure there's an anti-bot mechanism. Really.
So what about the
saying? Sorry, Ronnie, you go first.
What about the flip of that? Let's say this craziness is going on, and there's somebody that's fool enough that says, "Well, I'm going to sell some of the rev that I got in the pre-sale." How's that going to affect them? The bot's going to buy it cheaper than they should be able to get for it, or how's that work?
The bot actually acts within the first 30 seconds and then maybe just leaves everything else for you guys, because the bot is able to check that the most amount of liquidity is going to come in the first 30 seconds after a coin launch. So
yeah, and the slippage will be the most crazy too, right? Like people.
Yes, at that point. So yeah. So that's the point when the bot
that's
really
crazy
goes
in the long term of things.
Yeah. So the bot doesn't do anything again.
Just wait a minute or two. Then is that the idea?
Oh, what's that?
Yes.
Hang on. Why is that playing in the background?
I don't hear anything.
You don't?
No.
You've got some music going on, Danny.
I do.
That's at your house.
What
Danny.
is going on? I'm getting pounded by my intro music.
Too many blue drinks.
What the hell?
Wait, so Foley, can you summarize what you think we should do if we want to get the most rev at the least amount of
Jeez.
money?
No, I'm back. You guys do you keep going on?
Then are you sure?
Yeah. No, keep going. It was just I had Twitch running in another screen, and all of a sudden it came on for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've actually stopped the Twitch stream too. Twitch stream as well. So
if we're sure that Forex is going to put an anti-BOIT mechanism into it, then we can all go all at once with everything you have in the very first 20 minutes first 15 seconds or 30 seconds. That's fine. You know, if not, you have to wait about 30 seconds or 1 minute before really dropping your money in.
But if you wait 30 seconds to a minute, then isn't the price going to be a heck of a lot higher? Already?
That's what I'm saying. That 30 seconds is for bots and those that are really too easy or can't wait for things to happen, that they're going to be the one in that battle game. You don't want to be part of that. Bots will always win you. Bots will always defeat you in that space of time, you know? So that's why I said if it's going to put the anti-bots mechanism, then it's fine. Everybody can go.
Does it defeat you in the sense that it's going to buy low and sell high? Or, yes. Well, okay, so but what if my plan is to buy low and then sell like 5 hours later or 5 days later?
Not if you try to get 200 tokens and you get just one.
Huh?
I said not if you try to get 200 tokens and you get just one token because you were front-run by a bot. Does that make sense? In terms of the price going so up just before you drop in your money within that 30 seconds time frame.
Aren't we all submitting transactions to the contract? Like, why does a bot have any precedence over my transaction trying to get into the contract and do like it's my turn to do the swap, right? And so whatever the ratio is at that moment, as long as it's less than my 49% slippage, then my order gets filled. If it's more than my, like, see what I mean? Like, I'm if I'm going in there to get 200 tokens at, 49% slippage. Well, I guess it depends on what the price is when I actually click the submit button, right? And then I don't know. I've never done this before. I don't know what's going to happen. But I thought that I would get like I would be able to see the price, right? When I go ahead and click the swap button, it'll have a price posted there, and I won't get filled unless I get that price or 49% higher than that price.
Correct. Yes, that makes sense.
So it won't be a situation where when I think I'm going to get 200 tokens and I'm actually only going to get one.
That's what people do, because you took out the whole narrative of FOMO, where you are so blind that you're not even looking.
This fiat hater.
What's up?
This fiat hater.
Everybody.
Hey, nice to see you, fiat hater.
As you say, Brandon, why you gotta hate, man? Hello, everyone. I was just listening to some of the talk there. You were talking about the farm and stuff. And some tactics. So, yeah. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Good.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Nice to see you, Brandon.
You too. You've been doing some.
Now we actually
some
see the
excellent
face.
team building.
Yeah, it's all organic. We were just talking about that the other day. I know obviously everybody has their tactics, but sometimes it just happens organically, which is, always the best way. Because I'm not an expert at, gathering teams and putting people together. But, if you talk in the right vein with the people that understand what you're saying, I think that we were talking about this. Some people can't necessarily get the concept of drip, and it's difficult, especially in terms of, I guess you would say, no coiners, because there's a big hurdle to get over that. But I think some people that, understand Metamask and DeFi and maybe have been involved in kind of, I guess you'd say, blue chip, crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, then it's much easier to start a conversation and break it down and then orchestrate, what exactly the benefits are. And as you know, once someone takes control of their own wallet and they start to play with the system, they begin to understand the benefits of it. And then it sort of, it goes by itself. So I'd love to hear how you guys are building teams and sort of your approach to it and what kind of people you're talking to. I think that might be interesting to hear, actually. Although I don't want to take away from the conversation here. I know you're delving into the farm and everything, and I just jumped in. So however you want to take it.
That's okay. We can get back to that, and I think that's a very important thing that we should discuss as well today, because everyone here is like building their teams, but we all do it in different ways as well. So I think it's really important to cover that later on as well. So, but in regards to the farms, I don't know if anyone else wants to talk, something specific about that.
I just think I keep getting more and more excited about the yield farm because, like we were talking about before we started the stream, there's a bit of a question mark in terms of is the drip token price going to be stable? Is it going to be sustainable? And I mean, we know for a fact that the smart contract, the faucet contract, will always spit out the drip tokens that it's supposed to spit out, but we just don't know if those tokens will hold their value. I mean, obviously we've seen the price action has been amazing, and it keeps going up, it keeps holding solid, but we don't know where the price is going to be, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. And so I'm getting so excited about the farm because the two projects are linked, right? Because the farm is going to be very supportive of the drip price. The most attractive farm, the most attractive liquidity pool token that you can stake on the farm, other than Rev BUSD, is the Drip BUSD token. So it's gonna stimulate a lot of buying of the drip token. It's going to support the drip price, but it doesn't need the drip price to do well over the course of time in order to succeed on its own merits. The farm is going to be an entire working project in and of itself, and I think it's going to be a very successful yield farm project. Maybe it'll even surpass Pancake Swap, which I think is the most successful yield farm in crypto. I don't know about that, but the whole decentralized ownership thing, that's revolutionary, and that's very attractive. That appeals to people that, they're going to bring their business, they're going to bring their capital, they're going to bring their LP tokens and their assets to the animal farm because they can actually gain ownership. They can gain partial ownership of the farm and participate in all the profits of the farm.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited to be able to diversify. I have this great drip faucet passive income source, but I'm excited to be able to take a chunk of the earnings from there and put it into the farm. And then I have this whole other source of passive income that I know is going to be sustainable. I think drip is going to be sustainable long into the future, but I know the farm is going to be sustainable.
Well, I think what's beautiful about that is that when you do that and you put that money into the farm, you're also supporting drip and you're increasing the floor. I mean,
it's locking up drip.
It's a beautiful package. Yeah.
Win-win everywhere.
Nobody even knows the boundary condition in terms of TVL locked up in this, because remember, the more the price of drip goes up, the more the TVL grows. So it's such that even for the next 6 months, people are going to see more reasons to get into the layer 2 farm, the animal farm, because the decentralized dynamic algorithmic supply control, whatever that is.
The DDCCSESCDACAA. You know.
You got it, Brandon. You win.
I always have to look that thing up. But no, yeah, that's a revolutionary thing as well. You know, you have decentralized ownership, you have the dynamic emission rate, which that adds value to the reward token, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
if there's not a lot of demand, if the price is if the price of the reward token, the dogs token, is faltering, then it can rein in the supply and produce less tokens per block, which should support the price and kind of get it back on the upswing again. And then, you know, when it is in demand and the price is high, then that contract is going to be pumping out maximum amount of dogs tokens, and everybody's APRs is going to go way up, right? Because the APR for any given farm is based on the value of the reward token that you're getting for staking that thing. So if you're getting more tokens, you know, you're getting a higher rate of return, and that in turn is going to generate even more interest and demand for the farm.
And all that are incentive to lock up more drip BUSD to keep earning that token, because it's going to keep becoming valuable throughout the lifetime of the farm. Sorry, Fiat Ada, go ahead.
I think the idea here on the farm is the sustainability. Not only do we have the issues with drip, we have this marketing fund that's going to be continually fed. You have those APRs that Brandon is talking about. So you're going to have new people coming into crypto, you know, for months and years to come, saying, hey, where can I go? And people are going to say, hey, well, this farm's been going for 6 months, a year, 2 years.
You know, that's interesting, because when I first got into DeFi, I've been into crypto much longer, but I never got into DeFi until May of this year. The very first thing that made the most sense to me was Pancake Swap. I bought a bunch of cake and I staked it, and because that was what I heard. I'd actually heard of that term, and that was like the safest yield farm. And I'm like, what? I can earn 100% per year on my money? Right. You know, sign me up. And that's exactly what I did. I put like, I don't know, whatever, $5,000 into DeFi, and almost all of that went into Cake and Pancake Swap.
Cake.
Cake. And so I think the animal farm will build a name for itself one day. It'll take time, but
I agree.
Yeah, maybe that will be like the name brand yield farm. And for people in the future that are getting into DeFi for the very first time, they're going to hear that name. You know, you got Pancake Swap, you got the animal farm, and you know, maybe we'll win in the long run.
It's interesting you say you just came in. You only came into DeFi in May. Yeah, December 9 will be 1 year into DeFi for myself.
Nice.
1 year, and it's been such an amazing year, like amazing year with the ups and downs as well. But now I'm just cruising along, you know, and so glad I did it. You know,
I mean, I don't want to mention numbers, but completely insanely life changing in 6 months. Yep.
Well, I was a little surprised when they put this display out about the different categories of fishes, and I said, what do you mean I'm a tsunami? How can that be? Right? I mean, I'm supposed to be a little drip thing down here, but I guess I got a lot of coin compared to some other people. But it feels good.
The beauty is anybody can grow whatever they have, right? Which is the wonderful thing about the system.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've done a ton of hydrating. I mean, I think I went 5 months where that's all I did. And I hydrated during the $59 high. I was like, but you know,
change your name
a little bit now.
You should change your name, Rana. The roller.
The roller. The hydrator.
Seriously amazing stuff. I mean, like even with Josh up there, you know, he's been dabbling in crypto since he was 12 years old, right? And yeah, I mean, 7 years he's been doing it, and that's pretty amazing. But
that's awesome.
He's just recently come into Drip, and you know, I mean, Josh's opinion of Drip now is like, wow, why wasn't I in this before? You know?
Lucky times for Josh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, my opinion of Drip, when I first got into DeFi, like I said, most of my money went into Cake, and I put like 10% of my money, or a little bit more than 10, maybe 15% of my money into Drip, because I completely felt like it was a Ponzi. I thought there's no way this thing is sustainable. This is just like get in as early as you can and try to make your money as quickly as you can. I was all about like I didn't hydrate at all. I was just letting that available build up for the first whatever 100 days. Like I just was totally afraid of it. I thought it wasn't safe at all, and now it's like the safest, best project, best investment of my entire portfolio.
Before Edera or after Edera?
Before Drip, it sort of was a bit like the Wild Wild West here, wasn't it? And it's sort of 1%, 3% yields.
You know, for all those people that are afraid, you know, if there's any of them out there listening, afraid of whether Drip is going to make it or not. I mean, I hope I won't get in trouble for this, but I'm going to mention that the purple thing. So the purple thing was out there before, right? And it was a freaking disaster. There were all kinds of issues, and I won't go into them all, but I will tell you something. I'm still collecting money off of that bad boy.
Hey, you and me both, man. You and me both.
You know,
I'm still collecting from that.
So I know Drip is going to go.
Is Flow purple?
Is that Flow?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's kind of purple, but yeah, we know about that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm definitely still claiming from that in a big way.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So, I mean, if you're claiming from that, you know, you're going to be claiming from Drip.
Proves the efficacy of the smart contract. But then on top of that, you've got Forex building it, not, you know.
That's right. Absolutely.
Not the other guy.
And people trust him, right? People are like, okay, we look at what he's done in the past. Is he perfect? No. But does he get the job done? Yeah. And is he a rugger? No. I mean, in this space, that's the main thing we want to know is, are you going to rug us or not? Right. So if you know the dev isn't going to do that, you know, we got 90%, pretty 95%. He's not going to do that. You can put a lot more in than you would if you didn't trust him.
Yeah,
that's true. And you don't need to put a lot in because you're getting that free drip every day and you're hydrating every day. And I recently did. One of my guys on my team, Matt, he was part of this Discord group. Still is part of this Discord group, and he was having a heck of a time trying to explain drip to these people. So I went over there to the Discord group and tried to explain it to them. And they still didn't get it. And I spent a lot of time, but they were just like, nah, we're going to pass. And that was in August. And so I recently did a quick little study, and I was like, I want to show these dudes what they could have achieved since this was just a couple months later. So I used my spreadsheet, and I was like, if these guys had put $1,000 into drip at the time, and I calculated what the price was and what the tax would have been on their deposit, yada yada yada, hydrate, their account was up 75% in a couple of months, you know. And the price was actually lower at the time that I did the analysis compared to when I was trying to tell them that they need to get their asses into drip.
Well, it is
disheartening,
right? I mean, I'm glad you started this charity wallet because, you know, when you try to talk to people, especially loved ones, right, friends and family, and you're like, look how your life can be changed, and they're like, you're the crypto person in the family, you know, you're the one who takes the risks, and I'm not really taking a risk with drip.
I have a longtime day trader friend of mine, and he and I have spent a lot of time sort of lamenting the fact that neither one of us could be consistently profitable with day trading. And of course, over the last 6 months or so, I've been amazingly successful without hardly doing, with drip and not having to day trade and watch my behavior and all the rest of that goes in with day trading. And I've tried several times with this guy, and his reaction was, I told him about my success and, what percentages I was making, et cetera. And he still had this this opinion that it was like, oh, well, I'm glad it worked for you. Right. I'm glad you got, like almost like I got lucky picking the right token. And I'm just like, this works for anybody. Anybody can start at any time and make money with this thing. Like, unless the price drops 90%, you're going to be able to at least get your original investment. And
you know what?
Just
if
by
it
hydrating.
Drops 90%, it still works if you hydrate.
It still works. You're still making money. You're just not making as much obscene amount of money.
Right. And the problem with what you are referring to with day trading is you've got your risk to reward ratio, which at the best is like 2 to 1. With drip, you're not taking any risk, realistically speaking, for price. And realistically, after it's a very short amount of time before you actually get your initial investment back as a claim. And in that time, you could have actually doubled your initial investment with no real risk.
Brandon, I've got a message for your friend. Help me tell him, with drip, it would know Rome was not built in a day, but with day trading, Hiroshima was destroyed in a day, like yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I mean, that's something that plagues me personally as a day trader, is like, I'll do really well, day in, day out. I'll have weeks where I'm green every single day. And all it takes is that one day where I just lose my mind. It's hard not to lose your mind when you're under so much pressure as a day trader. I mean, psychologically, there's not much tougher than day trading. And you can lose all of your profits. You can lose months worth of profits in a single damn day if you lose control.
Sorry to interject there, Brandon. What I was going to say is, imagine going to bed last night and Bitcoin's at like 52, 58K. You've got your leverage long and you're full asleep, and you've got 3 times leverage, and that's a wipeout. Like, you're not taking that risk here. That's something that we really need to understand. There is no wipeout risk,
and it's so easy. Like, you literally just pop into your account and freaking hydrate once a day. You're done. Go spend the rest of your day doing something fun.
Or you click claim, sell, go to Binance, and then you put it there like this.
I've done
and the next day there's going to be more. Take some out today, but tomorrow there's going to be more.
There's more.
I had a friend of mine say,
it's like a flood.
It's like a faucet.
I had a friend of mine that said to me, like, he goes, he's old school. He goes, buy Bitcoin in 2013 for $50 and then don't sell it. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, right? That's fantastic. But you know what? You have 10 Bitcoin, you sell 1, you're only left with 9. Right?
And what tax are you paying on that?
Drip, well, that's right. Whereas, what we do here, geez, I can take out and I know that tomorrow there's going to be more. And the next day there's going to be more. I mean, you can't beat that. I wake up with a smile on my face every day because of it. Beautiful.
I did the day trading thing for a while. I did futures. I did options. I did Forex. And it was all exciting. It was all an adrenaline rush, and it was all a negative taxable event for me, right? I mean, and now, I spend some time in front of the computer every day. I probably spend more time reading Telegram just to keep up with everything, right? Than I do actually making the money.
For real.
And what Danny said is it, though, right? I just set myself the same time every day. I either go in and I say, am I hydrating today or am I claiming? And I do it. And then I'm like, shit, I have to wait 24 hours now for the next round, right? It's terrible.
On that point, has anyone used this new website that I found called drip-hydrate.com? You put in the amount of drip, the price of drip, and it tells you the best period to compound.
Yeah, I was looking at that today.
I saw that. I think the guy's got the wrong idea. Yeah,
definitely.
There's something wrong with the numbers. You need to hydrate like once a day. Yeah. I've seen the figures twice a day. Yeah. For some people that might help, but generally no. And the numbers even seem to show that, you know, if your count's not too big, you can hydrate once a week and it's not going to hurt you. But
I was going to respond to that post right before we started the stream, because I did a little analysis with my spreadsheet a few weeks back. And let me just read you these numbers since I didn't have a chance to post it. So I did a little analysis starting with 50 drip and hydrating for 1 year. So one account is hydrated every 24 hours. And after a year, they go from 50 drip to 1576.8 drip.
Nice.
On the other hand, if that same account holder hydrates every 3 days, they end up with only 1541.3 drip. So the difference there is about 35.5 drip. Now, of course, the person who hydrates every day, they're spending that little bit of BNB every day. So, so the cost of hydrating every day as opposed to every 3 days ends up being a total of about 0.46 BNB. And so you just do the simple math there. I got 35 extra drip tokens over the course of a year, and I only paid not even half a BNB for it. That ends up a price of 0.0129 per drip. Now, the actual price of drip, as we know, is like 0.05 something right now. So you're getting a massive discount on additional drip tokens simply by hydrating every 3 days versus every day versus every 3 days. And this guy's website that says, oh, you should hydrate every 21 days. I'm like, what?
Really?
No,
Did yours saying that? Mine said to hydrate
insane.
like every 11 hours.
Yeah.
On one of my accounts.
5 hours or 6 hours.
Well, somebody posted on my chat 21 days. Maybe they misread it. Maybe it was saying 21 hours.
It makes more sense.
Well, my account, for example, I put in 1,000 drip and it told me to hydrate every 11 hours, and it spat out the reasons why.
Put in 20.
20 drip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you do that?
That's what somebody posted in my chat, I believe.
Okay. 20 drip or 20
on this
hours?
Calculator, 20 drip at a $30 price. Yeah, it does say 24 days for 4.8
That's crazy.
drip.
Now,
and that calculation, I believe, is probably skewed because they don't understand. It's not taking into the calculation that exactly what we've talked about, the spread you're generating.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea is
go Kelly.
We have
the reason I bring this up is this was being spread around the chat. So I just wanted to know what everyone's thoughts were on this. I didn't create this.
Yep. Come on, Kelly, give us your opinion.
No, I mean, I'm just not going to say anything. I just think it's just.
I think Kelly has eloquently explained, as has Brandon many times, to the, in terms of what they've put out there for people to use. I think that they're exceptional in terms of, working out everything. And I think, this one seems a little wonky when I was looking at it today. And, in comparison to the bigger, layouts and looking at the stuff that you have.
Yep. Again, putting
Just
this
like
one
that.
out there.
Yeah, your calculators are great.
Kelly's or Brandon's calculator. Enough said.
Thanks for putting those out there. I haven't actually got the chance to thank you guys, so thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Super appreciated.
Yeah.
You guys have done a great job. Yeah. I use them all the time.
Yeah.
I will probably eventually.
around.
I'll probably add the ability, because it does actually speed things up quite a lot when you've got a lot of drip and you're nearing the end. If you really want to hurry that up for whatever reason.
Once you get to the end.
But I would never want to do that. So I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess I could do that, but it's to add that into the calculator is like redoing all of the math in all of the columns, and that's just not really worth it. Because if you feel like if you're in the mood to hydrate more than once a day, go for it, and it feels like it's worth it, go for it. But I don't know that it's like that I don't think it's that big
of a
Yeah,
cool. I'm only sort of new to this, and I'm most definitely not a rocket scientist. So yeah, my opinion on that definitely. Thank you for sharing yours.
Yeah. It again, it's one of those things, right? You're gonna compound it every day. Not everyone compounds every day. I don't. I'm claiming as well. So you know, and that works great. Thanks, Kelly. You know, compound claim, sell some and still have some more tomorrow.
You know, I think there's a good way to keep yourself net positive, right? Claim one day, the next day hydrate. I mean, and you just stay right at the same number.
And then you're always ready to sell if the price moons.
Right.
So I've been setting up like little accounts. So I've got a few big accounts, then I've got a few little ones. I've been doing direct airdrops.
Yep.
Right.
Is that worth
doing? If you happen to purchase two, then that you get your daily 1% without or whatever you've accumulated at that point, and you will not pay the 5% tax if I'm correct. You just pay the 10% with your deposit. Is that correct? Or am I wrong about that?
For what?
Anybody know?
You're a little muffled, Simon. It's hard to hear you. I think your mic must be covered up.
Just a little, yeah.
I have a good idea what Simon's trying to say. So Simon, just start shaking your hands if I'm wrong. But I think what he's saying is there's been somebody said that if you make a deposit, okay, that takes away from your available and brings it right into your deposits, and that there's no extra fee for that. So all you pay is the 10% for the deposit, and you don't pay that extra 5. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure either. Yeah,
there was a long time ago in July. There was this rumor flying around. It might have been June. Anyway, I used to spend every day in the Drip main chat, and I had never done it. I had never done a subsequent deposit. I had only done my deposit and then, done some hydrating, etc. I had never done like an additional deposit. But there was this rumor floating around the Drip main chat that if you do a deposit, it's going to take your available balance and hydrate that in without a tax. And I just took that as, oh, okay, that must be the way it is. And so then I made my Drip Network user guide video, unfortunately, with that information in there. And I was wrong. And so I had to post like a correction. I don't want to change the video itself because fortunately Forex linked my video to the tutorial button on the Drip website. So that's obviously helped my team tremendously. Absolutely. So it's not like I'm going to undo that, but I did post a correction. So there's still a tax. It's still just a normal hydrate function. The only advantage to doing a deposit like that and then, getting the auto hydrate is that you only pay 1 gas fee instead of 2 gas fees.
Right. Okay.
So that's how that works.
I just was wondering. Yeah. Okay.
Good stuff, Brandon.
On the ball, Brandon. On the ball.
Well, yeah, it was unfortunate though, because I wish I hadn't done a lot of testing at the point that I made that video. I was just basically kind of addressing that, like there was these same questions coming up day in and day out in the main Drip chat. I just thought like, I'm just going to make a video. I'd made a couple videos at that point, but that was one of my first videos. And there's a guy, another YouTuber named SK Crypto K. He's the one that does all the funny voices on his videos. And he reached out to me personally. I'd made like 3 or 4 videos, but they were really low production quality, no music, no nothing. And he's like, I like what you're doing, but you got to step up your game a little bit. So that Drip Network user guide was the first video that I actually, edited it and put like a lot of work into it with music and everything else. Cool. But then I made that damn mistake about, that you can auto hydrate tax free and just deposit more. Like people were like, oh, that's awesome, I'm just going to deposit and then I get no tax on my hydrate. And then turns out, no, that was totally wrong.
Right.
So it's definitely a 5% still on what you bring
Absolutely.
Over from the available.
Yeah, you get the 10% tax on your deposit and the 5% tax on whatever your available balance is hydrated in. Yep.
But
Okay,
you're
how does
saving
that?
gas, basically, right?
Yeah, gas.
One gas.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. One gas. So there is a saving in doing it.
Yeah.
The last
Minute as it
mystery that remains, the unsolved mystery in Drip Network, is why the hell there's such a vast difference in the gas fees for hydrating. I have some accounts that are paying like 0.0009, and I have others that are paying 5 times that.
Yeah, and I've also heard that if you do it on your phone, if you use Metamask on your phone, the gas fee is less.
I've heard the same thing too.
Yeah.
So many, so many rumors flying, but they all might come together. So it depends on your family tree in your referral structure, because that round robin might have some sort of effect where if you have about 5 to 8 downlines, 8 uplines above you, then the more it tries to recall the contract based on who is going to be paid next, that move upwards might actually make you pay more gas fees. Then the other thing is,
but I have some accounts that only that are directly under the
that's what I'm saying,
wallet.
That might be one metric. The other metrics might be when you hydrate at peak periods, where that's when the traffic on the BSC is so high. Then whatever you do, it doesn't really matter. You are still going to be paying that high gas fee for that congestion period. So that's another metrics. The other metric might be that you are in a region where the particular RPC you are using is not congested, and the other one is congested, because the way Drip is being set up is that it can actually dynamically move around RPCs depending on which one is the most effective at that time. So if you're on the RPC that is not so good,
what is a RPC? Is that like a node?
The data seed, the chain, you know how you move around. If you go to Metamask, that last thing you put in the custom networks.
No, I know where you put it in your settings, and I've had to like change my RPC setting a lot because it's
like the nodes. Exactly. Yes, it's like nodes. Yes, let me just answer that question. It's like the nodes.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
Brandon, have you noticed any correlation between if it's the turn of a wallet that is a team wallet and is kicking back the airdrop, maybe it's more expensive if there's that extra airdrop kickback?
I stopped studying it. There was a time where I was super concerned about gas fees. I'm not so concerned about gas fees anymore.
Times have changed.
That's fair. That is fair. Same with me. I'm totally unconcerned.
As somebody recently said to me, I'm too lazy to research that. I don't care anymore. Right?
Exactly.
Oh, hey, actually, just one thing I do want to bring up, because we mentioned MetaMask. This is something that you may want to consider or put a little bit more thought to, and probably some of you have experienced it as well. I have a downline, like a team member that is in Germany, and his computer broke. Okay, and then he tried to restore his MetaMask on a new computer that he bought, and it kept bringing up a totally different account, although his seed words were exactly.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
man.
trippy.
Yeah, and I've seen this a couple of times. So I don't ever suggest to do this, but he reached out to me and asked me if I could do it from my end. Again, don't give your seed words or seed phrases to anybody.
I trusted you.
He was at that point that he had no other option. He'd been trying it elsewhere. Like he's not really techie, but I mean, it's pretty simple to set up MetaMask, right?
Right.
And so I did it from my end as well. And this guy's got like $10,000 worth of stuff in there, right? And same thing happened on my end. I installed MetaMask and used his seed phrases, which were exactly correct, because he also did another wrong thing by taking a photo of it, of his seed phrases back then. But anyway,
so you
he
knew
sent
it was
that to me.
exact and correct. Wow.
Exact and correct, and it kept bringing up a totally different account.
Hey, Danny.
Was it an account that had money in it?
No, unfortunately.
I'm wondering
$1 million in it.
when you create your wallet, if it matters what country you're in. In other words, if I'm using a VPN and I create my MetaMask for Mexico, and then later on I have his problem and I have my VPN on Czechoslovakia, I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. If the
it's a cryptographic function. It's called BIP39, and your seed phrase is just it's like an address. It's like a private key, and it's a genesis. Your addresses and your keys spring forth from it the same way every single time. So I don't understand how. Yeah,
it's weird.
How that
and
work.
So I researched it a bit more, and actually it's not an isolated case. There's quite a few people that were experiencing the same thing on MetaMask.
Wow.
So just in regard to the security of that, I mean, look, basically I have it set up on this computer. I have it set up on another computer. I also have it on another device, just in case anything fails. At least I've still got access to it.
You go ahead and set it up before you need a new computer.
Well, and you could also you could also, in addition to saving your secret recovery phrase, you can get the individual private keys for each one of your accounts, and you can save those as well, and then you could restore that on anything.
Yeah, that's the other thing. But so it got to the point that the guy was in tears, pretty much. You know, 61-year-old, and because he's thinking, "Holy shit! I've just put all this money into it. This is like retirement money for me." So it turned out that even though his old computer broke, he still had the hard disk. That's freaking beautiful.
That's desperation.
Yeah. So I was hoping I was going to say, don't you dare end this with a sad ending. This better have a happy ending.
No, he still had his hard disk, and I said, get onto a really good computer tech there that can restore your hard disk on this other computer.
Yeah.
And they did it. They were able to export out his private key.
Oh my Lord.
And if you hadn't suggested that to him, he'd probably slit his own throat. Yeah.
That's right. And the thing is that Drip is his first experience into cryptocurrency. So now imagine what kind of, bad taste that would leave in his mouth. But yeah, we're able to do it, and now he's learned from that, and he's set it up on different devices and stuff now. So
I hope he's doing well now.
Yeah.
Well, that's so the takeaway from that I'm getting, Danny, is like I've already done this to an extent, but set up your MetaMask with your seed phrase on multiple devices just to at least test it out. Great idea.
Definitely, I think you need to do that. I started to worry, although I'm already set up, right? There's no problem, but it makes you stop and think, what if that biggest account that you're using, all of a sudden you have no access to it?
You don't have to worry about claiming it anymore. That's a horrible experience.
That's terrifying.
Absolutely.
It is.
And it was all because he I don't know, he let his nephew do something with the computer, and it failed when he tried to put it all back together.
Well,
so
I'm currently in the process of, like I said, diversifying from faucet, or taking faucet income and getting that ready to put into the farm. And so, like, I'm a little bit nervous about having more than, a couple $1,000s on a MetaMask account. It's just a little bit nerve-wracking. And then you start getting into like tens of thousands of dollars. Then I'm like, do I put this money in a centralized exchange? Do I take it all the way out to fiat and put it in my bank account to save it up? But
it's not even just about that, Brandon. It's the fact that you can't access your Drip account, which is the big, huge account. You can't do anything.
That would be a total nightmare to not be able to access.
That brings up this other issue that we've been seeing in chat. And I just want to bang my head against the wall, because about every 2 hours, somebody says, I can't get into my MetaMask wallet. Somebody somebody hacked me. I'm like, what?
Yeah, my wallet has been compromised, and you're like,
yeah,
exactly what happened, and then you have to tease it out of them sometimes. But at the end of the day, 90% of those people have put their seed phrase into a damn website because they thought they won a prize, or they thought they were going to get tech support. Or they connected their wallet because of these coins that were in their account and that they wanted to cash in on. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars just on my own team. People on my own team have lost money due to those.
Yeah, it's horrible. And every time I hear it, my heart skips. It's like, is it that easy? Because I mean, I'm not falling for any of that stuff, right?
Hell
but
no.
I'm like, is that really happening that many times?
I think the simplest message to get out there, and I do this on all of my video intros, is the only time you ever need your secret recovery phrase is to restore that wallet on your own device. That's the only time ever. No one ever needs that seed phrase. Only you need it to restore it on a new device. And if you realize that and understand that, then you're never going to give it out. I hope.
Right.
And hope the seed phrase works.
Yeah, that's freaking.
We're all relying on that, right? Wow.
Yeah,
that's a trippy one.
Yep,
that's
trippy. Right. But
well,
I've seen that a couple of times.
What would you do if you just tried like a different word? Like you got your 12 words, and what would happen if you just supplemented a different word in there? Would you end up with somebody else's account?
I've heard of that as well. I have, and I've seen it a few times.
Scary.
So imagine if you did open one up and it's got like $1 million in it. What would you do?
Put it into Drip.
I would immediately delete it before I felt any kind of a desire to do anything bad.
Exactly. But wouldn't that be tempting? You know what I mean?
It would be very tempting, right? Until you found out that after you took the money that it belonged to the CIA or the FBI or somebody.
Well, you can actually put code into the back end of it, can't you? The address.
Yeah.
What you could do, this is something I thought about the other day as well. You could actually take it out, shift it to a different wallet, but then write in the code that they can look at on BSC scan or whatever and say, hey, I've actually got it. It's your fault for letting me have access to it.
Right.
But message me and I'll send it back to you. That would be a good thing to do. You know what I mean?
How would you do that? What do you
create a new account?
You implant a message into your transactions? What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's a code that you can use which will actually bring up words in the back end rather than just.
Wow.
There's always something to learn in this area.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like that came up. When was that? Remember that big one? I think like 100 million or something that someone took a little while ago.
Wow.
And then they put into the code there that they would give it back.
Wow.
That was just recently, a few months ago.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
See that. Yeah.
They got hacked.
Oh, it was something with Polygon, wasn't it?
Something like that where they hacked it and then
Poly network,
and then realized they couldn't actually withdraw it because they made some kind of mistake.
Network, yes. 611 million. Yeah, that's right. Poly network.
It was white hat hackers, right? They hacked Poly network and stole all that money, but then they gave it back.
Yes, they gave it back. Yeah, there's one that happened recently. Yes, I think yesterday, Bitmat wallet was hacked. Bitmat is a very big exchange. For those that don't know, and I think one of their hot wallet got hacked yesterday, and they are selling a lot of tokens into ETH, all this safe Shiba Inu, whatever that has been put on Bitmat. They are selling all that into Ethereum and all that right now. So, I mean, it's a rumor, but I think the news is spreading. It might be true.
How much money did you say? That was 600 million.
611 million. Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if some of that's being dumped at the moment.
That's huge. Yeah, well, that too.
But you know that a Bitmat hot wallet should have about more than $1 billion in it right now. Not if not more.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's crazy to think
Get
about.
dumped onto the open market.
Pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
This way of dealing with money is very, very new and very foreign to most people. You know, I was finally able to speak with my friend's wife, Joelle. One of my good friends was killed in a crash a couple of weekends ago.
How's that wallet looking?
Oh, it's tremendous. So I was airdropping like 60 drip to my team every Sunday. And then I found out he'd been killed and leaving behind his wife and 1-month-old baby. And so I said, you know, I was really sad about it. And I was like, instead of airdropping this 60 drip to my team, I'm just gonna make an account for her and just airdrop it to her account. So that ended up being 55 drip. But then people on my team found out about it, and people on Kelly's team in Drip Rocket Science also found out about it and asked me for the address. I'm like, okay, here you go. And so people started contributing to her account and dropping 1 drip and 5 drip or whatever, and it's totally snowballed, and it's an amazing testament to this wonderful community that it's like 225 drip now. But I was explaining it's just phenomenal, and I'm gonna actually I'm gonna have a live stream next weekend. And she said she would come on stream. I'm not sure if she's going to be on camera, but she's going to, because I wanted to like sort of train her and you know, explain to her what it is that she's received and how it happened. But just even explaining, so I had a chance to talk with her today, and just to even start, I'm like, where do I start? Okay, there's this crypto called Drip. I'm like, you even can't even start there necessarily, because people don't even understand what crypto is in general, let alone like the little differences between the different coins. But just the concept of having all of your money on the internet, you know, and you have to have this little wallet app with your keys in it. It's a completely new and foreign concept. And there's just like a little bit of a process to getting comfortable with dealing with money in that form, you know?
Yeah.
We lost Folly and Danny.
Did you manage to speak? So you spoke to her and broke it down to her, or you're about to do that? Because she said she's coming on this, possibly on.
Yeah, no, I had a phone call just a couple of hours ago. Talked with her at length, and you know, I wasn't sure. It's only been 2 weeks, so I wasn't sure you know, when she'd be ready to like, hey, let's talk about crypto. But at the same time, like, I really wanted her give her this news. I mean, God bless her, she didn't even have a chance to watch like my YouTube video or anything about that. So she was sort of I think just almost completely oblivious to what has happened. And, you know, of course she was like blown away and so grateful and everything like that. But yeah, I had a chance to kind of tell her about, you know, my journey with Drip and what has happened and building a team and all these other random people that don't even know her were like, yeah, give us the address. I'd love to, you know, send her a little gift of 1 drip, and all that added up and snowballed. It was really, really nuts. But yeah, no, I had a chance to explain some things to her. Yeah. And I think it'll be really good content, because she's a complete newbie, you know, so I'll have to take her through start to finish of what Drip is and how Drip works and how faucet works. And then like, that's just scratching the surface, because then you have to sort of make these strategy decisions. Like, she's got a good amount of drip coming in. She's got 2.5, 2.25 drip coming in every day. Like, you got to figure out what's the best thing to do with that. Like Kelly, I told her about Kelly's strategy. I told her about Kelly's story briefly, you know, started with 12 grand and paid all of her bills in November. And now it's even, you know, you got more than enough money in December to pay all your bills. You know, so Yeah, I think it'll be really good content. I think it'll be a great way for us to showcase not only the product that we have and how amazing Faucet is, but also just how generous our community is. I think it's just a phenomenal story. I'm hoping that that the video will go viral, because, you know, it could really help bring a ton of people into Drip Network, as Drip Network deserves, right? I mean, everybody should be in this. We should have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of users, because this product is so phenomenal.
So Brandon, I find that really interesting because she never had to learn how to onboard fiat, and you're going to have to show her how to offboard it, right? And convert it to fiat. So that's
it was kind of funny because normally you talk to somebody and you'd be like, well, you know, you want to think about, you know, getting your money back. You want to get your initial return on investment. Like that's what a lot of people are concerned about, right? And she's got zero invested in it, so it's kind of beautiful. But of course, she just lost her husband, you know, and so she has a 1-month-old baby, almost 2-month-old baby. You know, I think it's beautiful that she's going to be able to an extent, like just pay bills and, you know, stay at home with that baby. And I mean, it's just a tragic, horrible situation. So I was very, very happy to be able to, you know, bring a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, for her. I don't want to talk too much about it. I'll start crying.
Good man. You did a wonderful thing, Brandon, and it branched down into even more with the community, which is
and that's the thing. It wasn't just me. I mean, I got the ball rolling for sure, and it was not any. There was no question. Like, and that's the thing too. Is like I've been giving away 60 drip every Sunday for 2 or 3 weeks before this happened, and so in my mind. Or like just that in and of itself is like, you're like, what? This dude's giving away $1,500 worth of money for free every weekend, huh?
Yeah,
you know, but that's but those of us in Drip know that that's totally possible. You know, like that's
absolutely,
you know, that's not even a day's worth of Drip with all of my accounts and all the referral rewards and everything else. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but it's just like that's how Faucet works. It just keeps, like Danny was saying, you come back the next day, there's some more drip for you.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny that we're talking about this. Well, not funny, but you know, but look at this. How about a thing where a charity account is set up and nurtured to help people like your friend Brandon? I agree about the huge viral potential. Beautiful, and which brings me to a point that I'm going to ask Josh to talk about, because we've actually just gone through this in this past few days. Josh, you ready to have a talk about that?
Yeah, thanks, Danny. So I've been figuring out. So I've been doing pretty well off Drip myself personally, and I've always wanted to figure out a way how I can give back, but I don't really like how things are structured today in terms of giving. Like, I don't think there's a lot of transparency with it. And I think that's everything in terms of these projects. Like with Brandon's example, like a tragic story, you know that the money's going straight to the person and you actually can interact with them, which I think is a beautiful thing. And I personally have started up a Drip charity account recently under I've asked Danny for a little bit of guidance with this, and we've worked together on a team, etc. for this. And anyway, I'm working with the Restore Earth Angel Protocol, and what they do is they have a charitable organization that non-custodially endows charitable organizations on the Terra blockchain. So all donations are sent to the endowments are automatically invested in low-risk, high-yield DeFi projects. So donations via the Angel Protocol currently earn over 15% yield for partners every year in perpetuity. So in Angel Protocol, when donors give once, they give forever. So when a donor donates $100, the charity, it goes into the account and the charity receives $20 immediately from that. The account invests $80, and out of that 100, the charity receives at least $12 out of that 100 every year forever, and the investment reinvests at $4 a year out of that 100 every year forever. And they have an NFT thing that they give away to donators of a certain amount. So I'm going to be creating a DAO and tokenizing that, and I'm working with a couple of devs on that. And Angel Protocol at the moment works they're currently focusing on the Restore Earth protocol. So that's they're reducing ocean plastics. So they're working with a company called 5 Gyrus, GYRES. global brigades under reforestation, and SELF for solar. And I think the most interesting one here is the SELF. So they are a solar electric light fund, and they're aiming to reduce the I guess inequality in electricity access for nearly 1 billion people.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
So I'm going to be the transparency through this is going to be created through the DAO, through a drip, through a Gnosis wallet, and anyone in the DAO is going to be added to that. I'm figuring out how this is going to be done at the moment. So anything I say is not deemed specific, but this is where I'm going with this. So we're going to be working with this. And the great thing about this is it's like the charity. We're going to have this drip account which we can give to Angel Protocol, which, as you know, drip grows on itself, and then they're automatically growing that investments for the charity straight away. So that under that $100 example, you can imagine that magnified into the thousands.
Yep, absolutely.
And I've got a meeting with them next week.
It's interesting that basically the reason that all of us are benefiting from drip and faucet is because of increasing adoption, right? Money just keeps flowing into drip, thereby making, the price stay stable, even though all this virtual drip is being continuously created in all of our faucet accounts. And so at the end of the day, the reason we're all able to make money with this, like it almost seems like money is just coming out of nowhere, but really it's just transferring from fiat money into drip money, right? And so it seems to me like, well, first of all, there's so much fiat currency in existence, right? So there's almost a limitless amount of fiat currency that can continuously flow into drip and other cryptocurrencies, right? So it seems like an awesome idea that not only can we benefit from that constant sort of flow of capital, but we can also set up charities that also benefit from that constant flow of capital. So I think that's a tremendous idea. And I'm a little bit curious about the logistics of that. For example, if you've set up a faucet account for a charity, like how does that work? Do you have the keys for that? Do you give the keys to them?
This is where the DAO comes into it. Anyone that's in the DAO.
Want to explain? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Oh, you go ahead, Josh. That's your baby, man. But I can explain it a little bit. But yeah.
No. Please go ahead. I think you word things very well.
Okay. Basically, that's where the DAO comes into it as well. Okay. So that you don't have one person that's controlling taking those funds out. Okay. So I wasn't expecting to explain this, but I think pretty much
no, I'll take that.
Talking about.
No worries.
Go do it. All right.
Yeah, cool. So anyway, the drip account that I've got set up is currently it's in my MetaMask wallet, but the private key will be given to the founding DAO members who will all be doxed, etc. And we're going to have a Gnosis wallet created. I'm still determining the logistics of the best way, but it's called the multi-signature wallet. So before a transaction goes out, so anytime there's a transaction created on for example, Binance chain, Ethereum chain, multiple wallets will have to sign and approve that before the transaction goes out. And this is where the DAO comes into it, as Danny was saying. So the DAO, the donators will be invited into the DAO. They don't have to, but the project that I'm working with has NFTs, and I'm going to tokenize that initially as 1-to-1 for my DAO membership. So anyone that donates towards that NFT will be in basically a private pre-sale for that as a charitable donation. And whatever those funds are raised will go into the drip account, ergo launching the project.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. One thing, because it is, what's that word when someone is a
we'd love to have you on the DAO, Brandon.
Okay. Yeah. Philanthropy, 100%. Is that the word? Philanthropy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one term. Yeah.
Drip and faucet inspires me, at least, to be philanthropic. Is that the word?
Well, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Like I saw this money coming in every day, and I'm like, this is more than I need.
Right. It's like it's more than I need, and I think very soon, if not already, it'll be the same for all of us. All of us that are currently, like, we're still early. We're still hella early, especially if you think Forex has plans that he hasn't even told us about yet. Like the other day, I don't remember where it was, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm still holding some things, close to the vest because I don't want the ideas to get stolen from me." So that's beyond what he's already got going with the farm and the NFT game and blah 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 blah. It's on and on. So we're all very, very early, and some of us with larger accounts we're already making more money way more money than we actually need. So it does inspire and generate like this atmosphere of philanthropy, right? And so one of the things I thought about was on a much more local level. Like there's people in the state where I live that are in tremendous poverty, and they're going to food banks, for example, especially nowadays with everything that's going on in the world. So I thought about just having some kind of a charity event, and just fund it, just like, cash in a bunch of drip, pay the bills for whatever it is, a soup line, a soup kitchen. Today's soup kitchen is brought to you by Team Drip Guide or whatever. Like I thought about just little local projects like that, just to give away some money.
If you don't mind me interjecting here, being a member of this DAO, you are 100% able to bring projects like that. So a member of the DAO will be allowed to bring projects like that to the other members and vote on it. So if you say we want to give X amount to this, we want to pull it out of the drip account, people will be able to vote on that.
I see.
As to where the funds go. And so the Angel protocol that I've got is where I'm going first, because I believe in the project they're doing. I believe they have full transparency, and the NFT creates a way for me to start. But definitely where this is going is exactly where your mind's heading, Brennan. Small communities, small projects.
Josh,
and members of the DAO just one more thing. Members of the DAO will actually be able to bring in their personal ideas and what they're seeing from their local communities. So it'll have a much greater impact through networking. And
what are you looking at for people to qualify to be in this DAO?
Any initial investment, any initial donation, I suppose any initial donation to the drip account that will be investing itself will qualify. So I'll get the amount of drip that'll be tokenized once I get this NFT. So that'll be on the donation, and then those will be related back to that.
And so this charity is funded with a drip account.
Yes, at the moment,
which we've already created for now.
Drip's the basis, but any other dApps like this that we deem suitable, that we can generate enough of a spread to, I suppose, give if our donators agree on it through the DAO.
So that brings up a question, and if and possibly an idea. So when people want to contribute funds to this charity, do they just airdrop to that account?
That's one way to do it, yes. And you just send the BSC scan transaction to me at this stage while there's no official... Because as I said, I've talked to devs, etc., people that have worked in DAOs that are professionals at this that are going to help me with this, and they're willing to do it for free. So this is all going to be legitimized, but at this stage, I've just got the drip account set out. I've sent out the link. I've put a couple drip in myself. I'm going to be putting in a couple drip a week. Kelly?
Well, sorry, go Kelly.
No, you go first, Danny.
The account that's actually under, we've set up specifically in the way that all the earnings going up to that account, percentage wise on how many directs are on that account, it will the ratio will be airdropped also down to that account. All the earnings that go up to the account above it will be airdropped to the charity account as well.
And that has the appropriate break in that account already.
Yeah. The reason that particular account has got a few more people on it is because we also wanted it to be a team wallet, so it's getting the additional 2.5% back every time. And also there's a couple of big name devs, which we won't mention at this point, but they've also come in as members underneath that particular account because they weren't in Drip before. And now they just needed an entry point for Drip, so then they can also airdrop over to the charity account. So it's good.
Kelly?
Yeah,
I
Kelly.
just had an idea and then a question. First idea is you could also just have it, the charity account, like make public and publicize the account number of the charity account, and people could actually sign up under Drip, under that account.
Yeah, I have
And
actually
so
been promoting this.
So they could have their own accounts, and then all the rewards would go to the charity, but then they could have their own investment.
That's right.
I have been promoting the buddy link.
Yeah. So then that's the idea, and then the other one was just a question. Have you had to set up some kind of a legal structure somewhere in some country as a 501c3? I don't know what it is in Australia, but or wherever you are. I'm in Australia. But like that part of it is really complicated. I know there have been a few people that have wanted to start Drip charity wallets, and then they go to actually figure out the fiat and the tax structure, and then they're like, "Oh God, that's way too much work." So
well, that's actually an interesting point, the tax structure, because Josh has got something on that as well.
Yeah, so I have actually talked to a few people that do run DAOs currently, not necessarily in Australia, but so how these donations actually work is they're actually charitable write-offs. The donations, you get a 10%. I think there's a 10% buffer. So anything we spend in the DAO, we can actually reduce. So I'm talking to a few people as to how I'm going to actually corporately structure this, but nothing is firm yet. This was an idea that we just created a couple of days ago. So me and Danny are talking about next week, sitting down, collating all of this stuff. And he's going to sort of, I believe, help me a little bit, just outline some of this stuff.
Not just a little bit.
Yes. So anyone here, especially Danny, as we've previously spoken, is more than welcome to help us with this project. But at this stage, the stage we're at is we're just collating our ideas from where we're at. I've sort of set up the accounts so they can start earning, and I've talked to the people that we're going to start funding initially. And I've got the DAO meetings with the people that run these DAOs next week. They're on call, but it's Sunday. So they're not on, so I'll talk to them on Monday. And this same thing with the rest of the things once I get it all down with Danny. And he's just going to help me dot point it, and then I'll be able to talk to the appropriate people.
I guess I have a question, or maybe you could even call it a concern, or playing somewhat of a devil's advocate role here. But with any on the ground nuts and bolts charitable organization, they need fiat, right? They need to pay for things in the real world. They can't yet pay really anything in crypto. So I'm just wondering, like, isn't it better to just, as an individual, invest in crypto, make a ton of money, and then just be philanthropic by donating fiat? Like, you have a ton of fiat.
I completely agree. I actually completely agree.
But how many people would do it?
The beauty of this is anyone that sets up a Drip account under this account is technically contributing to charity. And the Angel protocol has as I was stating before, let me just get the website up just so I can just reiterate it. So when the account gets $100, charity receives 20 immediately. So this is all done through the Terra Luna blockchain, and they have a peg stablecoin called UST, and they have the appropriate DeFi partners to mint and give UST. So as I was stating, they use Terra to deliver more income than the donated amount, and currently they're earning over a 15% yield for those partners in perpetuity on the Terra blockchain. So they give them US dollars, yes. So when someone donates $100, so say my DAO donates $100, say I'll just add a zero because it'll be more like 100,000. So say we donate 100,000, the charity immediately receives 20K to do whatever they wish with in fiat. The Angel Protocol's Terra partners invest $80, and the charity receives 12,000 a year out of that 100 forever, and 4,000 is reinvested into that 15% low risk DeFi high yield forever. So the charity gets that US dollars every year forever. So it's in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So I think the idea here, Brandon, is that some people like you or me are going to take the take that, hey, I can cash this in. I got enough coming in. I'm going to help people with cash locally. But there are people who have their drip and they look at it and it's like, well, this isn't really money. I can just contribute it to this cause. Or maybe, it is real money and I'll contribute it to the cause. It's just giving them an easier way to just say, okay, I can just send it right over there. There it is.
And the DAO is going to make it so anyone can ask for help, charitably speaking, in the sense of Brandon's friend, etc. Anything like that, like, can be promoted to the DAO. Like anyone that's in the DAO can promote these ideas, and anyone.
Well, I do like the idea of just being able to, copy an address in and do an airdrop, and boom, I just made a, I just made a contribution to somebody that needs it. Yeah,
and that's true, dude. Like, say you give them $1,000, say you put $1,000 in his Drip account, regardless of what Drip does, that money is being reinvested in perpetuity for the charity. So it's not like a one-time donation. Say you made a lot of money in crypto and sent them some money. Great, they got $1 million, they're going to spend it. But with this, they reinvest this, so they're earning money forever.
It's really like
it's like paying them forever.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm looking at bridging, I suppose, the gap between these digital dApps and these digital DAOs that are already generating this charity, because there's so much, as you were mentioning, extra liquidity here that can be used for this just by having people. We've got the team wallet set up. If people use this as a direct, it's going to generate really, really quickly. If anyone does want to jump on as a direct, I'll chuck Danny the link. Just send me personally. I'm just Josh Crypto 1 on Telegram. If you do decide to donate, just send me, and I'll just keep a record of everyone who does decide to chuck in some Drip, and you'll just be airdropped some DAO tokens when they launch.
I'll put that into the description, Josh. After this video
you mean
after
just
the live's done?
You mean just make a new faucet account with this particular address as your buddy? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you could do that as well.
Yeah, that's definitely one way I'm going to be.
You're just doing whatever you're doing, and you're already contributing to it.
Well, when it comes time,
go, boom.
I'll hit you up on that, because when it comes time, eventually it'll come time for me to make a new Team Drip Guide wallet, and so the last two I put under the dev. The next one I'll put under this.
There you go. And then the thing is, we just keep going sideways from there, because obviously that account will end up blowing out.
Yeah. The cool part is exactly, we have you guys on board that can help us maximize the Drip returns and not blow up these accounts, etc. Like, there doesn't have to be one account.
We can just spread it out.
Like, we can just have the seed phrase shared between the founding members. We can set up new wallets based on that, etc.
Yeah.
I don't know, Josh.
You just for letting me share, guys.
You just said that horrible thing.
Scientists.
You said share the seed phrase, and I just got a shudder.
So the founding DAO members, I'm not sure. I might not do this, but people like Danny and that, I definitely want to have this non-custodial, so it's decentralized. So it's not just me that has access to this.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
That's, I suppose, where I'm going with that. Like, it doesn't have to be set up like that. I can keep doing a Gnosis wallet, but still I have access to the private key only and stuff like that. So for pure transparency, I think something like that is going to make everyone feel so much more comfortable that their money is not going to get rugged.
Well, sure. If something were to happen to you, God forbid, and the whole project was ruined, that would be horrible.
The whole thing that's really pissed me off recently in crypto is this centralization of these small projects. Like, the reason of this, that I'm creating this DAO, that is to decentralize these organizations and principles that should be decentralized. Like, there should be no need for this to be one person. Like, if there was a way to create a team wallet in the way that we can on Drip, in the sense of everyone can just access it and then we can all put it to a vote, I would do that. But technically speaking, I might be able to talk to some devs about creating something like that, but I don't believe that tech exists yet.
Well, I think, there are things that are set up where, one DAO member's got, 3 words of the seed phrase, and the next one has 3 words of it, or there's all kinds of ways you can look at it.
Definitely.
We could definitely have a chat about if you've got some ideas about that. I'd love to hear it.
My Zoom is always open for meetings.
Just don't leave the mic on when you go away.
Yeah,
So
Josh, we won't go into that one. There was a time that Josh was I'll just mention it. There was a time that Josh was supposed to be on a Zoom with me, and I was a little bit late, and I got on. He was already in the Zoom room, but left his mic on and the camera off, and I could just hear stuff going on in the background, and he wasn't aware of it.
There is functionality built into the Faucet smart contract where you guys can see it on your Faucet page. It says current buddy, but then it also has manager and beneficiary, and these features are ways that other MetaMask wallets can actually manage someone's account or be the beneficiary, meaning they can transfer, they can take claims, they can withdraw from the account. They're not currently turned on, but they are written into the smart contract, and I think it's just a matter of Forex like flipping the switch and turning those functions on. But that could also be a way, like when I first had the idea to set up the account for Joelle, I was thinking, well, ideally I would call her right now and she would get on MetaMask and set up her own seed phrase. So that way I wouldn't even know the seed phrase. But of course I couldn't do that. It was the day after her husband was killed. And so I ended up having to start a new MetaMask account, and then I had the seed phrase, and I gave her the seed phrase today, and she restored, she restored it into.
That is a real issue, actually. That is a huge issue that there is no way to do this.
That no way to do what?
Custodially transfer accounts and regenerate a private key or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I know. I felt a little bit funny that I know her seed phrase, but of course, I mean, I did this for her, so I'm not going to steal the money or anything like that. But yeah, it was kind of annoying that in order to be able to transfer this account to her, I had to know the seed phrase to begin with. So in terms of trying to set things up for charity, I think the manager function could come in handy to the effect that we could 100%. Tell a charitable organization to set up their own MetaMask and set up their own account, and then we would simply manage their account for them, since we're the experts on Drip and Faucet.
I actually think that is exactly where we'll be in a year. I just think Drip isn't that big yet, and I think that getting the money off Drip and into the pocket will generate that buzz we need, that they're saying there is money here. And we can start doing proof of that we've done this stuff, and then we can start onboarding these sorts of people. 120%, mate. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting.
With something to be said for that fiat deposit going into your bank account. It's like,
with that, dude, think about it. If a charity jumps on under us, we can directly airdrop them their 10% tax straight back to them as like a cashback instantly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was going to say with the custodial wallet, I use that. Here I go again. I use it in the Purple program, and so the one thing that you need to know is that if you're rolling someone else's wallet, you're going to be paying the BNB. They're not. That doesn't matter to me, but it's just an issue that you need to be aware of.
BNB isn't an issue here. I'll donate 1 BNB to fees myself. I don't really mind. Like, it's pure charity, my man. It's pure charity here. Like there is no business.
We could also put some into Reservoir.
Oh,
could also put some into Reservoir just to get the BNB for gas fees anyway.
There you go.
Yeah, and that could be
self-sustaining.
Self-sustaining. Yes. Thank you.
Yep. So lots of interesting stuff. I think
Yeah,
fantastic,
thank you for
Josh, and I'm
it.
glad that
I
you.
really
I'm
appreciate
glad you shared that with me.
the audience.
You know, when you did. So,
Yeah, I
absolutely
appreciate
beautiful,
the audience.
man. You're here. You know, I said I'd give you that opportunity because I think it's a beautiful thing that you're working on, man. So
yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah,
there you
can
are.
you guys imagine? You know, there's been talk in the chat. Folly talked about drip price in four figures, $1,000 drip.
Yeah.
Well, Forex talked about 3,000 being extremely reasonable.
Yeah.
It's totally possible.
Mind blowing, right? It's mind blowing. It's magical money.
It's really just us. It's just us getting a tiny fraction of the Fed's magic money. That's what it is, because they're pumping out. You know, this year, how many trillions of U.S. dollars were pumped out of the Fed? I don't know.
Too many.
Multiple trillions of dollars. So we're just getting a tiny slice.
Is there 360 trillion or quadrillion in global derivatives assets?
Oh yeah, don't even That's
globally.
That's
ooh.
Imagine when that starts getting onboarded onto shit like this.
Yeah. Exactly.
I can't imagine that.
I can't imagine it, but like I can imagine how happy I'll be.
You know, everybody keeps saying that we're early, and it's dawning on me as massive as our luck is and how well we're doing. We really are early. This is going to be a totally different conversation next year. That we, you know, hopefully none of us will be too snobby to talk to each other, right? I mean,
I did a maths recently of how we're going to grow in a year from now using compounding, the compounding law, and I think that's going to put us as 975,000 people at the rate at which we are growing right now. So the principle of that is 200 people per day. That's what we're having right now. 200 daily players. And
well, every new person that joins my team, that's like one of the first things that they want to talk about is, oh, how do I get more people under me? You know, so almost everybody that does that, almost everybody that gets into Faucet realizes they can make more drip by putting more people underneath them, and that it just has to snowball. It just has to.
That's awesome.
Has
anyone been keeping up with that?
Has
anyone been keeping up with that MongoDB sheet of all the accounts?
Oh, yeah, I have that. I have like 65 tabs on my browser. Chat. Let me look.
It's in the private chat to this stream. But yeah, it's like a statistics of all the accounts being created. Look at this.
Oh no,
month.
I've been following Matthew's work for several weeks now.
Like
he also made a really cool bot that helps people who had their wallets hacked, i.e., gave somebody their seed phrase. But yeah, no, he's got a cool site.
Shout out to Matt.
16,245 drippers. 5,300 new accounts in November. November was a killer month. Holy crap. Yeah. November was amazing.
Do you guys know we already have almost 1,000 players in December already?
1,000 new in December?
1,000 already, in December.
Well, 222 yesterday, 233 the day before, and 292
we could easily hit like
on the first
40K by Christmas.
Well, the last time that we did
everyone goes hard.
The last time we did a stream, Brandon and I think Kelly as well, when we did that, it was only like 16,000 or something at the time. 18,487 now.
Over 700 new accounts in the first 3 days of December.
Yes.
Ding.
And now everyone's going to be off work for Christmas looking around crypto. We need to start promoting this.
Are there metrics out there that tell us how many drip are going into those accounts?
Even if it's one drip each.
Well, that's true. Even if it's one, it's fantastic. I'm just the curiosity, right?
I believe on that MongoDB sheet, it says the drip deposit 0 to 5,000. So you'll see there's 11,000 drippers with 0 to 100 deposits. Wow. And it sort of scales down pretty linearly from there.
Right. Yeah. 9,000 drippers between 0 and 100.
So it doesn't really look like
range.
that might be the case, but I definitely agree in the beginning, yes. But as you know, you get someone to put one drip in, they say that they put another 10 in.
Absolutely.
In my case, that's happened like every time.
Shout out to brother Leo. He just said something now, and let me. There's a rationale behind it because we discussed it a bit privately. So he said the all-time high of BNB of drip against BNB was 0.17, right? Mm-hmm. So what that means is that even with a shitty farm like the one that not shitty farm, the farm that actually got a very bad closure. So with that in mind, we know that drip is going to perform so well against BNB over time. So that means we can easily reach that 0.17 again very, very quickly. And right now at 0.054 BNB per drip, if we go back to the 0.17, that's like 3.3 or 3.5x from here. So that's the rationale behind why Brother Leo said the first target in 2 weeks is $105 per drip. And that's just based off of the fact that we're going to outperform BNB and get exactly up to all-time high in terms of BNB value. But anything apart from that is going to be a plus. Yeah.
Here's another thing too. Looking at our decks, looking at the fountain decks, the drip BNB AMM. I'm looking at that contract right now. There's roughly $2 million worth of BNB in that DEX. What that means is if somebody doubles the amount of BNB and brings or if $2 million worth of BNB comes into that DEX, that means the drip price quadruples. That's how an AMM works, right? The ratio the product has to stay the same. So if you double one, you have to quadruple the other in price. And that would instantly take us from $30 drip to $120 drip.
Yep. Yeah, right.
And that's $2 million. Like $2 million in crypto. 2 million, really? That's a tiny amount.
Not a lot, is it?
It's tiny. It's tiny. So we're highly susceptible to inflowing capital is going to just completely spike our price.
It's going to be interesting to see what this advertising does that Forex has got planned for us. I mean, wow.
He's spending $250,000 on it.
I mean, this is word of mouth so far. Can you imagine when we get some real traction?
Danny, people are wondering what site we're talking about. Are you able to put
there you go.
Link in
there? I just put that up there.
Matthew's site, the charts.
Where did you put it?
No, hang on. Send me the link on the chat there, Brandon, if you can, and I'll put it.
It's in the private chat, but I think people are on the comments want it in the public one.
Okay, here we go.
We have access to it.
Hang on.
Yeah, I can't post anything in the public comments.
I'll do it here.
Josh already put it in the private chat.
Okay.
There's something we call sentimental analysis right now. And the sentimental analysis is the fact that right now cake holders think they reached a tipping point for the price of cake. And what that means is that if we successfully get the marketing of drip mainstream, especially to something like Cointelegraph, a lot of cake holders are going to be there and they'll be willing to drop their cake into the drip liberator, because they know for sure, if they understand the mechanics of how the farm works, that they are going to be getting way past 4x of what they've been keeping for the past 1 year in terms of their cake holdings. So remember, the drip liberator takes about top 10 tokens on Binance.
You're saying drip liberation, right? Drip liberation.
Yes. The liberator contract.
Dude, cake is down hard. Cake is down to like $11. Are you kidding me?
That's what I'm saying. So I think they've reached a tipping point where the old reality that it's a farmable token has started to set in for cake holders. Right now, the adoption has really slowed down compared to the amount of emission of cake. You know what I mean? Before now, we had this crazy adoption of pancake swap where a lot of people were buying cake, paying it up with BNB to farm cake.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, we've gotten to that tipping point where nobody's even looking in that direction again. Especially because a lot of layer 2s have come up now. Matic has come up, Phantom has come up, AVAX has come up. So nobody's really looking in that direction of, trying to get 50% yield. So when they can get 500% on Phantom or AVAX or any other chain like that. So cake holders are looking for a better place right now to really double their money. And if they get into the Liberator contract, we're looking at almost 500 million at least coming in.
Yeah.
So cake is at 11, and here we are right now. We're still over 30. I mean, drip is over 30.
That's right.
It's incredible.
Hey, talking about things going up at 30, how about BREEP?
Oh my word!
Oh my God!
I just bought some more today. I paid over 30.
I need to buy more of that.
Yeah.
What? BREEP is at 30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was over 31 a couple days ago.
Well, it's kind of gone back to where when I first bought it, it was 32.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
back
wow.
in April. Yeah, I first bought it at 32 back in April.
It's looking like you could actually make money just by buying and holding BREEP, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what I've done on the charity account. I bought way more BREEP than I needed.
Nice.
And I've just got to slowly sell it back because I'll probably only need a couple downloads on this account, and then I'll be able to have some for the other accounts, just slowly sell it back.
Yeah.
Huh. That's so expensive that if I have more downlines, I'm just going to be like,
Yeah.
And what will you say, Kelly, when it's 60?
But if you look at the all-time high for BREEP was 133.
Are you getting FOMO yet?
133.
Are you sure that's V2 or V1? Are you checking V1 or V2?
I'm looking at the BREEP chart on PooCoin.
Right.
Which is showing $30 is the current price, but the high back in February of this year was 133.
Yes. Okay. That sounds correct. Yeah, because I know BREEP was at 105 at one time.
And BREEP, if I'm not mistaken, BREEP is a deflationary token in addition to being. So every transaction, 1% is burned and 1% is distributed to the holders.
Is it burnt or taken added to liquidity? Oh, it's burnt, yes. Because that's why 100K has become 88,500 right now.
Right. Deflationary.
So can BREEP ever be minted, or is that's just it?
That's it. That's all. So right now in liquidity, there's only 20,000 BREEP right now. So if everybody tries to get 20,000 people try to get one BREEP each, we will not have anything left in that liquidity.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And nobody
now when you can.
Talk about quadrupling the price in an instant.
Have you changed your mind, Kelly?
There's only 1,020. There's only 1,020 BNB in the version 1 V1 liquidity, right?
So if you multiply that by the price of BNB, then divided by the amount, the price of BREEP, you should get.
It's not even $600,000.
Yeah, right. Then divided by 30. Divided by 30, that's about 19,000.
Holy crap, you guys! Because I think there's going to be a lot of money coming in, and that price is going to quadruple, isn't it?
Well,
man, BREEP is flying under the radar.
Those whales that Forex is talking about, they're going to want some of that BREEP too, right?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, you have to have BREEP.
Get in now.
Wow.
Get as much as you can now.
One is useless to you.
Forget the own forks. Go buy BREEP.
It's madness, isn't it?
I'm lucky I bought about 235 at $5 or $7, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But
I bought some back then too.
That's amazing. You want to sell me
something is screaming to me now. Go and buy more. You might need
I
it.
bought like 140 of them, and I'm like, man, I should have bought more. And I keep saying I need to buy more, and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Price keeps going up, and up.
Well, when was that, Brandon? We did that live, and you bought some BREEP just recently, a couple of weeks ago, maybe, and it was only 21.
Yeah, let me just look at my magic spreadsheet right here. Capital gains tab, buy BREEP. Yeah, I bought some for 18. I think that was November 18th.
Like
nice.
And bought some on November 18th for $18. I bought some more on the 19th for $20. One of those two was I believe
19th. You were on the stream. We were on the stream together.
Wow.
My first BREEP, Folly, I got BREEP for $4.57. So there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How many did you
I only bought 3 tokens. So.
Oh
no.
Are you bagging, Brandon?
That's hilarious.
That's when I started my first tried to start my team.
Nice. Well, at least you were smart enough to get 3 right away, right? I mean, all these people are crying about not getting their rewards.
Yeah. This is hilarious.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. And I remember when we were on that stream, Brandon, you bought it at that. 2 weeks prior to that, I'm not going to check my records here, but 2 weeks prior to that, I bought some at 11.
Nice.
Yeah, about that. And then when you did it, it was like 21. Oh gosh, I got to get some more. You know?
So you can easily see that the price appreciation is directly proportional to the exponential growth we're having right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because everybody needs, one is useless to you really. You need 2 BREEP actually to really make sense of
you have
anything.
To have it. Yeah.
Anything, yeah. It's crazy.
Danny, what I'll put the link and you can put the chart up.
Yep.
Oh, that sex is sorry, that chart is sexy. Sorry, Kelly.
You know, some of the complaints that I see in the chat, it's almost as if you need to buy 3 BREEP if you have a wallet, just in case somebody accidentally connects up to you, right?
Yeah. Accidental referrals.
I think the most passive aggressive thing you can do in Drip is start a long chain under someone and put the big wallets at the end, because then that just that's like they have to get all.
You start reaching like this. Yep. Oh, I need to get this rewards. How do I get it?
You're talking about Daisy. You're talking about Daisy on my team.
I'm talking about Daisy, exactly.
Yeah.
Change it to a 1 day instead of 15 minutes.
So Daisy has to be from the DGen protocol, right?
Probably.
I mean,
I don't.
Those guys used to do long chains in that TRX chain thing. I mean, they just.
You're talking about the purple program?
No. Before that.
Look at that.
Oh shit!
Is that the BREEP chart?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my god!
Zoom out.
How sexy it is.
Scroll your mouse, Danny.
Wow.
Scroll out. See,
out.
there's the high. There's the 133, 134 high. So.
And then here we are.
Like, why not? Why wouldn't it go back up to 130? Right?
What caused that high before? Why was it so?
That's the first. That's when Forex released his project. This is his second project.
Yep.
Brandon. Yeah, that's the minting period when he started to mint BREEP.
Oh.
So during the minting period, there was this crazy spike, and then once it finished, I mean, there was no going back, so price started to correct when all has been minted because people just sold and all that. So I think it went as low as $3 or $2 at one point. Then it started picking back up again.
Well, I'm pretty sure you don't want to buy now because Ray from Bartertown wants to buy first, right?
Say what now?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's like people have said that the BREEP token is the sleeper in all of this.
Yeah,
right?
man, it is.
And we know that the farm is going to support the drip price, but it's also going to generate a lot of interest when people see this, that people are farming the drip token and they have no concept of what drip is. And then they find out what drip is, and then they get invested in drip, and then they're going to want to buy BREEP. So it's going to be like this lag. We're going to see the drip price going up, and then right behind it, we'll see the BREEP price going up. And BREEP is deflationary in the true sense of the word.
Right,
you know,
right.
Faucet is creating more what I call virtual drip. So there's this big question mark of like, how much virtual drip are people going to be claiming out of Faucet and hitting, know, slamming on the market with in a year from now? Could be a lot, and it could drive the price back down. Ain't no BREIT tokens being created right now. They're going down in supply.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's interesting.
It could be like the T-Rex token in Rex.
Even Bitcoin is inflating right now. Even Bitcoin is inflating supply, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the BREIT token is a hell of an investment. Maybe I should.
I think so.
Put some money into that.
You got us all thinking about it now, Brandon.
People are asking, how can I get ready for the farm? And well, like the second order answer is buy more BREIT.
I was going to claim and go to fiat tomorrow. I'll go to BREIT instead.
I think so too. Definitely need some more.
Well, I have a big bag of BUSD right now because I want to buy a bunch of Rev.
Right.
But now I'm scared because Folly got me a little bit scared.
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. We just need to make sure.
I'm not scared.
We just need to make sure we ask Forex to of the launch procedures that there's not going to be sniper bots competing with humans like me and you on launch day. That's all we need to know. If not, we're good.
Well, think about how much money you could make if you just put that BUSD in BREIT for the 2 weeks that you're waiting.
True.
Well, there you go.
You can switch it back to BUSD and have
it becomes an unstable stable coin, you know?
Yeah, it does.
And you're earning that little bit of passive income off of that too.
Yeah,
you
that
get the reflective rewards.
Yeah, so I got 233 in July or August. I think I have about 236 right now. So I've got 3 BREIT in reflections. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm seeing $1,000 BREIT by the end of next year.
Man, me too.
Runner, you're increasing the FOMO. He's already there.
By the way, guys, Forex did reply to my open invitation to him earlier, but he's at a friend's place. They're watching UFC. If he wasn't there, he would definitely jump on the stream, he said. So, but that'll be for next week. He said we can schedule it again for next week.
Nice.
So,
I've got my stream for next week. Hopefully with Joelle. She said she's down for at least calling in to the stream.
Yep.
So she can we can tell her and you all are invited, of course. Well, I can't add as many people as Danny. Maybe I should finally just break down and buy it.
Just do it, man. It's only
you got
cheap.
the box.
Man, it's only like $10 a month.
Anyway, I'd like to do like this again. But next week would be I'm calling it Drip for Newbies. So Joelle will be teaching, I'll be teaching, and we all can be teaching Joelle like exactly how all of this works. And then we can take questions, from the chat as well, like newbie type questions. So I think it'll be really, I think it'll be a good stream. So let's reserve next weekend for that.
I'll be there. Hey, are you doing that on your Friday or your Saturday?
My Saturday.
Your Saturday. So Sunday morning for me.
Yes, sir. Just
what
like
time?
Right now.
Yeah. Well, it's now afternoon.
No, it's a day late. It's a day earlier, Brandon, or a day later, Brandon. You're doing it. Yeah.
Your Saturday?
No, same
it's my
thing.
Sunday.
My Saturday night, your Sunday, just like we're doing right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
That's okay.
Too.
Yeah, that's cool. I try to do my lives every other week anyway. So yeah.
So yours next one, Brett. If you do that, Danny, the next one's going to be after the farm launch. Lots to talk about.
That could be very super interesting.
What do you mean could be?
Well,
Could be.
all right, definitely.
Yeah, it's supposed to be no later than the 16th of December, I believe.
I'm feeling a push already to like the 21st. I just don't know.
Hey, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that that there would be any forces to dump drip before the launch, right before the launch? Like, do you think there's any chance that there'd be like a big drip dump?
That always happens with whales. They always buy the rumor, sell the news. You always get people that dump, but I think there's so much buying pressure that it'll actually alleviate it.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of whales in here. We can ask them.
If you're going to dump, it's not going to be before the farm launches. It's going to be after the farm launches while everybody's trying to buy it up, right? Otherwise,
I think you've got.
Why would you dump before?
Okay. Let me share my idea about that. Dumping drip. I mean, nah.
Not a good idea.
Because
right?
the liberator is just gonna. I mean, we just talked about 2 million quadrupling the price of drip. I mean,
yes.
Well, if it drops before, it's actually a good thing for all of us because we're going to be buying it. Like, in my opinion, I think it'll be good. Like,
there are like if you look at the holders page, there are about 50 wallets with 750 drip in them and higher. There's
and that's not even counting the people that have got it building up and available that wouldn't show up.
Some people are just have a big available balance that they haven't claimed. Maybe 1,000 or 2,000 drip that they're going to claim out and then sell.
There's lots of drip that's dumpable.
These people are telegraphing their move, right? Because they're sitting there with 1,000 drip, 1,500 drip, 900 drip in their wallet right there. They're showing up in the top 50 holders. I think all of those people are getting ready to sell those bags. Otherwise, like, why would they be holding on to those?
When do you think they're going to sell them? What's their price point?
I think 50. I think there's going to be a lot of selling when it hits 50 because the last high was 58. So to an extent, I think people will try to front run the last high just in case there's like a double top. And then I think 58, there'll be a lot of selling.
Yeah, they might as well cut their own hands off. I mean,
that's a psychological barrier right now for
maybe. You don't know.
You could be right, though, right? Yeah.
Because think about it. There's right now there is over 3 million drip in deposits.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means 30,000 drip is coming to available balances to a theater near you every day. 30,000 drip every day is gushing out of people's faucets account. So, so at any moment there it could be a lot of drip hitting the market.
But it's not going to have the impact. It won't have the impact that it did when our friend dumped $400,000 worth in the beginning of the program. Right. Yeah. I mean, if somebody dumps 1,000 now, it's not even going to matter because you got somebody else coming in buying, a couple of thousand.
Maybe, but if the price is $50, people aren't coming in and buying 1,000 drip.
They will with the farm.
Some
they will when the farm starts.
I don't know. I'm just saying you never know what's going to happen. My personal I don't want to be seen as FUD or anything. I'm just saying it could happen. Yeah, my personal belief is that the drip price will continue to be very volatile. Right? It went up to $10. It went down to $2. It went up to $58. It went down to $6.80. It went up to 34 recently. Maybe it's going to keep going. That's really volatile. It is. And I think it'll continue to be volatile as you get more people buying in, but you also have all these people with all these big fat faucet accounts that just gushing drip every day. they can, a lot of people can simultaneously decide, okay, today's the day. This is the price.
Right.
I'm going to hit the claim and sell button.
Well, I guess if you sell at 58 and you buy at 48, you're doing good, right? I mean, there's going to be some of that day trading stuff going on too.
Could be.
That'll never stop. That'll always happen, But the thing is, we always know it's going to get back up. That's just the way it is.
What I don't understand is the holders that have like 5,000 or 7. This person has 7,982 drip, and they've had that since like day one. The last activity was 200.
Yeah. So what that is they bought that at the pre-sale. And then they
just sat
away.
on it.
Right. And actually, Forex said he has a couple of friends that are in the Dow that they always buy whatever he's selling, just to buy it, and then they don't look at it again.
Yeah.
I mean, and hopefully that person won't wake up and say, "Oh, I need to sell this today," right? I mean,
that would be a big order. That would spike the price down.
I mean, I do it for a lot of projects too. I mean, I'm good friends with Function, and I just bought Gangster because it's my pal, and I've never looked at that contract for the past 100 days. I mean, I just bought it.
Welcome, brother.
I'm not even compounding. I just bought. I mean, I think I bought 3 or 4 BNB, and I've never looked back ever since then. Yeah. It's more or less not. It's not to make profit. It's just to support his project. And
so that's interesting. And then you have people like everybody's friend wannabe a whale who has to show everyone his wallet, and he's got 1,448 drip in his wallet, right? He doesn't tell you what he's going to do with it. He just tells you better have it, right?
Who wants to answer that question then for the fresh fish? It's really simple.
I have a newbie question. Can you explain the supply and contract balance? Meaning that stats is the bottom of the swap page. We were having a discussion about this just yesterday in Drip Rocket Science. So, and Folly, you sort of blew my mind because you're like, the players, the player count on the Drip Network homepage, drip.community, the players says right now 18,490. But if you look at the Faucet smart contract, the number of accounts in Faucet is only 16,000 something. So the question is, where does that other 2,000 something player count come from? And Folly said it includes the Reservoir, but if you look at Reservoir, it's only like 1,200 players or something. Yeah. So I'm not really sure where that 18,000 number comes from.
There are other people that just bought Drip and never put in the faucet, or they have 0.001 and they are going to count as holders. Not necessarily because they're in the faucet. So there are just people that are just holding, never in the faucet. So if you draw the Venn diagram, you realize there's people that are actually having the faucet and have got 0.001. So it's going to count them as being in the faucet, if that makes sense.
But if you look at the Drip token, the holders of the Drip token is only 16,348.
16,348. Okay. So there's 1,200 in the. Let me look at something. Hold on.
Actually, it just went up 16,421 holders.
Just quickly, guys, rocket scientists, thank you for having me. I've got to head off now. But it was lovely to speak to you all. If anyone of you want to talk about the DAO, please add me on Telegram, JoshCrypto1, or just message Danny. I'm sure we'll all be in contact sometime soon, and everyone have a lovely day.
Yeah, brother, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, we'll speak again. You're always on my Zoom anyway. So
and
we'll
just to quickly answer Bob's question in chat. Yes, check out KuCoin's variety of bots.
There you go.
Yeah, check out KuCoin.com. All right, thanks.
KuCoin. All right.
Now, the supply is a much easier question for fresh fish. His or her question. I have a new question. Can you explain the supply and the contract balance? So the supply on the Drip website, let me go back to that page. Total supply, that's the 1 million tokens. That's the current total supply of the Drip token. That's easy enough to understand. But then if you look at, where is it on the swap page? Yeah, on the swap page, the current supply says 65,783. And then the contract balance says 3,561. Yeah. So the contract balance, that's the number of BNB tokens in the fountain liquidity pool. And the supply is the number of Drip tokens in the fountain liquidity pool. And you can actually verify that, because if you go,
Oh, Brandon, sorry to interrupt. I also have to jump off now, but I just want to say goodbye.
Thanks, Kelly.
Love you guys.
Kelly,
see you later, Kelly.
Always a pleasure. We love you.
Take care, Kelly.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Kelly. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Yeah, bye.
And then there were 4.
Great people. Yeah.
So yeah, so if you divide the number of BNB 3561 by the number of Drip tokens in the pool 65,785, you get 0.054, which if you look at the price, that is pretty close to the current price. The price says 0.05358 BNB per Drip. So those two balances, that's just telling you what's in the liquidity pool, which is an AMM, automated market maker, and it's what's called a constant product automated market maker, AMM. And so it just like when you put, I did a whole thing about this in one of our live streams, where like you put in Drip tokens and you then take out a certain number of BNB tokens, and you keep the product of the number of Drip tokens times the number of BNB tokens. That's always a constant number. If you multiply the number of tokens times the number of tokens, you get a constant number. And so when you take out some of these tokens, you've got to put in enough of these tokens to make that product still be the same number. I should probably do this the other way. But yeah, there's a really cool video. In fact, I'm just going to find it and then I'll post it to the private chat, Danny, and you can put it in the comments. There's a really cool video that shows you exactly how an AMM works. And then you can use that and you can understand how, because it's just an AMM. It's just an AMM with a couple little tweaks to implement the sales tax. But essentially it's just an AMM.
So Brandon, let me I actually figured out what is really happening. So for the players, we've got 16,000. How many people in the faucet? 16,245, yeah? 16,245 thereabout. Then we've got 1,125 in the reservoir. Now, there are people that bought Drip and have cleaned up their wallet completely. Does that make sense?
Bought Drip and what?
Cleaned out their wallets. They have 0.000 in their wallet right now. They are going to count as players too.
Yeah, they've maxed it out already.
Do you mean people that have already maxed out their faucet account?
No, people that bought Drip and have sold over the 7-month period.
So for whatever reason, they opened a wallet,
tokens and then sold them.
Sold it, right?
Yes, yes, that's possible too. So the trader, we're talking about the traders, complete traders. They never went into the faucet. They never did anything, because what then happens is the number of orders on the BSC scan is going to take them off the radar, but it's going to remain on the Drip main account. The main website, because they've interacted with the contract once. Does that make sense? So that's what is actually catering for that extra 800 people. I mean, for a 7-month period, it's possible that 700 people have actually bought Drip and sold everything. So neither are they holders,
Yeah,
or they are drippers. they are lost in the air as traders that have actually interacted with the contract once. Yeah.
And now they're not counted as holders anymore on the BSC scan.
Exactly.
Because they have zero. Danny, I just put that YouTube video in the.
I put it on the.
And then that last question, from Bob: do AMMs have any other utilities? So in the case of our AMM, our custom drip DEX. It does have a utility in that it has a system in place that rewards the liquidity providers, which is, for us, is people who are players in the Reservoir contract. So in the Reservoir, you throw some BNB in there, half of that BNB is used to purchase drip, and then you have your liquidity pair, some BNB and some drip. And then that gets put into the liquidity pool, into the fountain, and the DEX forwards rewards over to the to those people, to Reservoir players. That's pretty much it. I mean, an AMM. The point of an AMM is to provide a market.
What's the return on that, Brandon? Right now,
it's not awesome, but it's
steady,
pretty
right?
Good. Yeah,
57 to 55 to 60%, thereabout.
Yeah, about per year. So I can only go off of my personal results, which during the time span of July 9th to October 9th, so exactly 3 months. I put 3 BNB in there. I didn't compound anything. I just claimed every 4 or 5 times over the course of 3 months.
No.
It came out to just about 60, maybe it was 69%. I don't remember. It was like 17. It was like 17.5% for those 3 months. And then I was like, okay, just multiply that times 4. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was right about 70% per year, which is not bad. Like who gets 70% income
it beats
in a year?
The 6% that thrilled my friend, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And at peak period when there's so much swap happening for BNB, it can go as high as 100%. So it's an average. When there's so much swap going on, you can actually get up to even 200%. Watch the liberator and how much BNB you're going to produce with every single swap. It's going to be crazy. So between 60 to almost 200% is what Reservoir will give, depending on how much people swap tokens around, how much how much of the people that are coming into the Reservoir, because once the farm launch, the alternative is going to be getting into the Reservoir if you want to do Drip-BNB, if you don't want to do Drip-BUSD, if you believe in BNB so much, and Reservoir is where you really keep your BNB while still earning BNB. And anything, any BNB, nobody pays you 60% APY on anything, any BNB in the space at all. So yeah, it's a pretty good investment.
Is a Reservoir 10% in and 10% out, or what's the story with it as far as?
Yes, that's it. That's one of the metrics that also makes it very, very lucrative. So if the biggest whale right now jumps out of Reservoir, is gonna pay everybody the 10% of whatever he takes out. So that can be very lucrative too. So the whole idea of Reservoir is it's a good store of value for your BNB while still paying you BNB. You want to be the last person remaining in the contract because you get the old chunk of the trading fees coming from swaps. You get the old
welcome back.
Yeah, it's back here. You get the old dividends, instant deals that are coming from players coming in, from players going out, if you are the last person. So the whole gameplay of the Reservoir is to be the last man standing in the contract. If there's anything for me to be able to push Bitcoin Pro out, I'm going to push him out.
Oh man.
Because when he exits, I think he's got about 50 something BNB in there right now, if not more, maybe almost 70 BNB. If he exits, he's going to drop 7 BNB for everybody. And depending on how much of your pool share, you can almost get 0.3 BNB off that. I think that's what I'm gonna get of that 7 BNB if it jumps out right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for Bitcoin Pro's bag, most specifically.
Now he's gonna have to watch this video.
I don't know, Folly. I might have to tell on you. I have a place in my heart for Bitcoin Pro because he was basically the first team that I joined. I joined under my friend, who I was his only referral. And so then Bitcoin Pro was the first one that I actually purposely joined somebody's team because he was going to give me $100 airdrop. I was like, $100 score.
Oh, I love Bitcoin Pro, so I'm just joking. I like him. So I mean, we talk in DMs about other stuffs apart from Drip because he's my friend. That's why I'm actually trolling him in case he watches this.
Well, he has a lot of positive feedback in the chat. I mean,
that's right.
Oh yeah,
definitely a contributor.
Well, he inspired me. He like I said, he was the first organized team that I actually joined, and throughout the month of June, I think it was, he was building his team, trying to, he was trolling the drip trap, trying to get people to join his team, of which I was one, and giving everybody sweet airdrops to join his team. And then in the month of July, he said, okay, no more people under my team. Now I'm going to help all of you guys build your teams.
Nice.
And the way he did that is he literally airdropped 10 drip to the first 5 people that I brought into my team.
Wow.
Yeah, he did 10 drip airdrops. That was pretty massive because
it is. Definitely.
It was like $100 or more, maybe. I don't remember. I mean, it depends on what part of July. July 16th, it was $500, $580, but yeah.
Bob,
I mean,
I had to let the dogs out.
Bob, that's the thing you got last week.
Rona is part of my very big team where Adrian is the one heading that, which is Flow Riders. The way we do airdrops in that team is crazy because you can be one of our downlines and 4 people are going to be giving you drip in 1 week. Somebody got almost 22 drip only because is a downline to an upline to an upline to an upline, and those 3 uplines did airdrops and gave him drip that week, every fortnight. So it's crazy. One of our last airdrops was one of our facilitators in the team giving up 17 drip to each downline. It's crazy. So we don't really talk much about all of this, but yeah, we do crazy airdrops in that in Flow Riders. And I mean, we've started other chains right now where we plan to give 100% of the team rewards from all wallets. And
that's our 4K whale wallet, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Airdrop 100% of everything.
Well, On is still supposed to do his 1,000 drip.
Oh, the lucky bastard.
Right, the lucky bastard airdrop, 1,000 drip.
Yeah, wow. That's massive. That's massive.
Let's see there. That's $30,000.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly.
All right, how do we join On's team?
Yeah.
I think if you're part of the 500 club, you immediately enroll for that. Yeah, it's crazy.
That was the second team I joined, his 500 club. Thanks to On, and I also have a place in my heart for On because I wanted so badly to join his team with the 500 club because I wanted the $500. At that time, it was $500 airdrop, like a round robin, and so I bought another 500 drip, and fortunately, that was like the day before it just started to moon. So I bought 500 drip for $3.65 each.
Nice.
Wow.
So
yeah, On has been so generous with his drip, and that's good. It must be one of the biggest airdroppers in the drip chart, really.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, does he have a tree that produces drip, or
well, the way he did his ultimate drip team is he's got the dev wallet at the top, obviously. He's got his on top wallet and then his on bottom wallet, and then that's where his team is. That's where his level ones are. So he's got like 2 levels of round robins going.
Right. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, but overall, the community has been amazing. It doesn't matter what team you're on. We just vibe and talk, relate, connect at different levels, and that's awesome to see. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. The community is fantastic. It's like Brandon and I, when we first made contact as well, we first did our stream. I mean, we're not on the same team. Well, as a whole, we are, but we're not really, and we're still there helping each other out. And that's such a beautiful thing about this community. You don't see this. You really just don't see this, It's pretty unique in that way. It's beautiful, with the charity thing that you're doing there, Brandon, as well. I mean, the drip community, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's how everyone comes together.
I didn't ask anybody to help Joel. I just put that video out there, and before I knew it, not everybody, but lots and lots of people were like, "Oh, we want to chip in," and it was really so amazing and beautiful, and it's a very very giving, generous, awesome community. What are you gonna say?
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
There's no community like this anywhere, I don't think, in crypto,
Yeah.
We're in a league of our own.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, we are at 2 hours and 42 minutes.
Is that all?
I think,
That's record.
Man, it's pretty good. And it hasn't even felt like it. I've had a great time today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Danny.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Always open. The door's always open. And, I'm going to try to do these every other week. And then obviously on the weeks in between, I'll be there with you, Brandon, and whatever else comes along. And definitely looking forward to the one with you next week. So I think, look, I get comments all the time, from people and messages from people thanking us for these videos that we do. And I think it's just fantastic, even if someone picks up one little thing out of what we talk about and it helps them even in a small way. It's absolutely that's satisfying.
I get a lot of people expressing gratitude for, the videos that we've done. And I just always reply the same way. It's like, it's truly a pleasure. It's like, this is my pleasure. I love teaching. I love freaking drip. It's the ultimate career for me. To be able to talk about this and teach.
It's literally sharing a blessing, It's literally sharing a blessing. I have people asking me about, well, this guy's saying this. How do you convince him? And I go, well, you know what? I'm not in the business of convincing people.
Right.
I'm really not. I'm just here sharing a blessing. It's entirely up to you. If you've got your preconceived idea about crypto or whatever, I'm not here to tell you otherwise. That's entirely up to you. All I can tell you is that this works. It's great. It's fantastic. I just want to share the blessings with you, and it's entirely up to you if you want to do it. There's never any pressure at all.
I think it's a good thing that crypto. I think crypto in general is a good thing for humanity, right? Because in our current financial system, the only real winners are the very, very top, 0.00001%, the owners of the central banks. They're the only ones that are truly winning. The rest of us are slaves to debt, and so crypto frees you from that. It's a much, much fairer form of money. And I think that's a beautiful thing for humanity. So I'm happy to be a part of that. I used to want to be like a really good day trader and then teach people how to day trade, but that doesn't benefit humanity. You know, that's just the better day trader you are, that means you're more effective at taking other people's money because it's a zero-sum game. If you're making profits in the market, other people, it's because other people are losing money. If you're making profits in crypto, it's because people are getting the F out of this rigged fiat currency system and putting it into, you know, the people's money.
People have faith in what's going on.
Yeah. And definitely. And that's the thing. If you like, you'll notice with all of my videos is I just relate it back to people, you know, people just being with mine. Okay, guys, I've got all you guys, which are like scientists and experts and all of that. And it's great that you do your videos like that. For me, it's just like, hey, bring it back to layman's terms and just anyone can do this. And this can help anyone, right? This can help anyone, whether you come in with 1 drip or 100 drip, 1,000 drip, whatever, this can help you. And I've done that time and time again, you know, help people with that little account and grow it to be something, and without having to think about it too much. And just that on its own, that has the power to change lives. It really does, you know. And that's why you can feel comfortable about sharing this, is because you don't have to try to like there's no effort really in just sharing a blessing. And you know, it's helped me out personally, it's helped my family out personally. I've seen it affect other people's families, and man, it's just so beautiful. Just get in, you know. Just 100%. Get in, you know.
Come on really, in, the water's fine,
man. You get your ROI so quick anyway, right? And then the rest can just become plain money. So what risk have you got, really?
Yep.
You know, I've RO'd like thousands of times over already. And I'm still doing it, you know. So that's a beautiful thing. So there you go, guys. You want to add more?
No, I just thank you for hosting this. It's so much easier when you host it and I just have to show up. I love that. And I don't have to have the big screen up here and everything. I just can hunker down in front of my laptop. That's fun. And this was a great time. I'm glad I got to be involved this time.
Yeah, man.
I was jealous last time.
Yeah.
I was jealous. And I was like, oh, they had a great time and I wasn't there.
So yeah, look, and it's great. We are getting regular viewers and stuff. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe to videos. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and you know, even this is going to be up there even after the live, so you can comment away on there, and then I'll go through and check whatever questions there are, and then we'll bring it up on the next live stream. So there you go.
It might be fun too in next week's video, not only taking some of questions from Joel and just whatever we can think of. I was thinking we might go back through like older videos of mine and just go through the comments and see if there's any questions, because I don't have time to like respond to all of my comments anymore. I used to do that. But like I think that would be a good way to have some educational content. Is just to answer people's questions from whatever videos weeks ago or whatever. Yeah,
good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
We can do that.
In case we can't fill up the time with conversation, you know. In case,
that's the real likely, right?
It's a problem trying to think of things to talk about. We can barely, you know, utter 2 words.
Yeah, we got to keep talking.
I love it.
True story. I told Danny about that just before this live stream. I'm like, sometimes we just go blank without really know what to talk about.
Oh man, yeah.
Thanks again, Danny.
No worries at all, guys. Thank you. Just to answer this question, live stream same time every week. At this stage, every other week, every second week, and then the weeks in between will probably be over on Brandon's.
Yes.
Brandon's
Yeah,
channel.
on just on YouTube, search for Drip Guide. That's my channel.
Yep.
And so yeah, at least next weekend we'll be doing the live on my channel. And I'm quitting my job as of the end of the year. Actually, the first week of January.
Yes.
Which in my normal job, I have to work every fourth weekend. And so this coming like December, whatever it is, 16th and 17th or something like that, that'll be my last work weekend for the rest of my life.
Woo! And you might be sick that weekend.
Yeah, right.
This one's for you, Brandon. Alak-Azul.
I'm the on-call. Like, I'm the unlucky bastard. If somebody is sick on a weekend, they call me and I have to work.
No.
So
Gotcha.
Enough of that.
Well,
congrats, man.
Done with that in January.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, congratulations on that. And again, Runner, Folly, Brandon, thank you so much for being on here. We've had a great audience today. I'm looking, the lowest we've ever had, like at the same time, has been like what it is now. I think it's 14 people.
Wow.
The rest of the time it's just been, the rest of the time it's been up 20s and etc. So for the whole stream.
Sweet.
So beautiful. Absolutely love that. Just see if there's any other. Congrats, Brandon. There you go. Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Love it, man.
Thanks to Drip.
Thank
you, Forex.
Absolutely beautiful. All right, guys. And Forex will be jumping on sometime again within the next couple of weeks too. So that'll be awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping he'll just come in and we'll just do like general chat, general AMA, general chat like this.
Right.
It doesn't have to be like a presentation of a particular thing.
Right.
Just
Good stuff.
Pick his brains a little bit, and there you go. All right. Well, thank you again, everyone that's out there watching. And please tune in, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will put Brandon's and also Folly's YouTube channels in the description once this video is finished, so you can check them out. They've got some amazing information for everybody. And there you go. Much love to everyone out there. Guys, I'm going to do the outro screen. You can sit there for a minute if you want, or you can go. But we'll say goodbye to everybody else.
All right.
Later, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Have a good one, Brandon. Thanks, Rana. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care.